We're on. Let's go check it out. Oh. We're on. Yes. Such a challenge sometimes to get situated. Working on it, working on things. That's why we're here, though. We're here to talk. Hydration, number one. Breathing, probably tied for first place. So let's start with that. Everyone out there, we're going to start with some deep breaths. Let's breathe in. Try to breathe from your diaphragm. If you got a burp. I've been burping for like 17 or 18 years. It's the oddest thing. Some people know me, most people know that I have this weird situation in either my stomach, intestine, or colon. But I've had a scope down my stomach and then a scope in my bum, and they found nothing. And the doctors don't know what it is, whatever. So, I swear, if I don't get this thing fixed, and if I survive till natural causes, that it won't be natural causes that were the enemy. It'll be whatever the heck is going on right here. So do this. This helps. We got one view. Welcome. Welcome. Congratulations. You are the first viewer. Please comment. I'd like to know, is it BSV or did someone beat him to the punch? Nick A., my dude, BSV's brother. Nicholas, congratulations. You are the first ever viewer of the Danyul podcast. Deeznuttz Productions. First episode. It's about Dan time. So let's get back to the breathing thing, though, for real. So I do want to relax. Be calm. Relax the facial muscles too while you're at it. You don't want to be tense. Stretch a little bit. Just be loose and relaxed. And this goes for me, this goes for anyone at home, this goes for if you're going to do anything in general. It's best to be present. It's best to be comfortable. Buddy Vince would say, "You're hungry, aren't you? You're hungry. You hungry?" The good news is I'm actually not that hungry. So let's. Actually, one of my favorite times of the day is when I'm not hungry. I try to really relish in it. When after you just ate a big meal or a meal, whatever you ate, and then for that period after, an hour, 3-4 hours, whatever. Sometimes I try to be mindful. Wow, I'm not hungry. I have energy. Let's use this energy to do something proactive, something productive, something creative, something helpful. Do not let it go to waste. And I would say that is... that'll lead into why I'm here, and which is for sure what this first podcast is about. This first podcast is essentially why I'm doing this, where I'm at in life, what's gotten me here, where this can go, what it might entail. And a big part of it is that I don't want this to be the Dan Nutt show. I'm all set on being a lone ranger in the sense of trying to go through this world alone. You don't get very far trying to do things by yourself. And, we all kind of know that, but until you really learn the importance of reaching out and asking for help, you don't just ask for free rides per se. You don't just ask people to give you things. You bring value. You bring value to the others that you ask to join you. We all have certain skills, talents, knowledge, tools, network or connections. Whatever it is, we have something to bring to the table. And I think it's important that we aren't afraid to ask for help and that we realize the importance of it. So a big part of this podcast is to make it a collaboration. I'm going to want feedback, for ideas. I'm also going to, have guests on. Also going to have, not even just guests, but I'd like to help put people on, per se. I'm getting this thing going. It's been a long time coming, for, I don't know, almost my entire life, I'd say. I've enjoyed interacting with people. I've enjoyed making new friendships. The quote I came up with is that every stranger, not every stranger, every friend was once a stranger. Let that sink in. Any moment, I make friends daily. If I get out and about. If we don't stay in our comfort zone, our comfortable bubble, it's easy to just have maybe like a small group that you talk to every day. And I'm recommending this. Get out of your comfort zone. If you have your small group of friends, maybe some of your best friends, really, cherish the time you have together and whatever, but you guys and plus yourself, you need to expand your horizons. Get out there. Be open to meeting people. You don't force it. You don't say, I'm going out. For me, for example, I've been going to Edge Fitness the past week and a half. And I don't go there with a set plan saying, I'm going to go make a new friend today. It's going to be that person right there. It's going to be, her over there, him over there. You don't force it. I go to the gym, and if I have a forced interaction with someone, like when you go there and you have to, say, someone working there, for example, I still need to make a friend, but it's a perfect opportunity to be more than just the business. You don't have to just, I like to treat people, here we go. I like to treat people as people, whether they're working or not. The last thing I ever would recommend to anyone is to, this is kind of cliche. We all should be better than this. But people still do it. When you're at a restaurant, or wherever you're at, to not talk in a tone to someone because they're working and you're not. To not ever talking a tone like that to someone. It's one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do. So it's good practice at any point in time that you come across someone in a forced interaction to be, bring a smile to the table. Be interested in them. Ask them something. just try to talk about anything except sports and the weather. I do challenge you to that. I do challenge you to do that. Do not bring up the weather or sports or something basic. That's the only challenge. So a part of this podcast here is going to be about teaching and learning. You know, I'm a funny guy, right? Most people know that. It's not necessarily obvious right now because I've been on here for 5-10 minutes, and you wouldn't say I'm not funny, right? Or you wouldn't say that I'm, I'm not trying. The point being is I'm not trying to be a comedian, and I've been doing this for a while. I decided quite a while back, and it's actually one of the best advice I ever received, and it was my freshman year at Michigan State when I was joining the podcast fraternity. I was at oral boards, as they call it, and that's where they ask you questions, and you're just about to get in. And Isaiah Sanju to pronounce that right, he gave me some of the best advice that I ever heard, and he told me that someone told him a while back to switch up the 70-30 from 70 funny, trying to be funny, and 30 serious to 70% serious, 30% funny. And, he said that, but over time I continue to remind myself of that, and I pass that on. Now I just say, another way of saying this, let the funny happen. Let the funny happen. And, I experience some hilarious moments, and I'm grateful for those, and I'm grateful for the advice that Isaiah gave me, because it really has changed my life experience. So people would ask me, growing up in the schools, people were so curious. How are you so funny? Why are you so funny? How? And if I were to answer that now, my answer would be something sort of like this. I would say, first off, don't try to be funny. Try, but don't try to be funny. Don't go up to someone and feel that you have to make them laugh. You're expecting them to laugh. And if they don't laugh, that either you're judging them or they're judging you. No, don't use people. Just treat people as people. Just go up and say hi. How you doing? Talk about this, talk about that. And be real with them. And that's why it was recommended to me. And I don't know his name. I'd like to have his name. I can put it in the comments. But I watched essentially a podcast. It was like from the Stanford Business School, one of those guys up there. And he was talking about spontaneous conversations, not speeches, not where you're, doing a speech. Because I was talking to someone today, actually, I think Santino, who I met at Edge Fit. I made a new friend today. Santino, what up? If you're watching, I told you 7:30. It's like 8:36. So I don't know if you're still here. I told about 20 people 7:30. I told about 10 of them after that, more like 8:30. Something I'm working on is time. However, I did say that I would do a video podcast tonight, and I'm proud of myself for being here right now, talking, teaching, and then, I'm going to read through the comments, be doing some listening. Also, so a big part of this is I want to interact after this. I'll text you, I'll message you. I do not want to email, and I don't like texting either. I actually like to say, hey, let's do a call. Let's do a call. People say, my mother, she says, Daniel, you're such an amazing writer. You should write. Well, she sees the writing I do, on the Facebooks. A lot of times it's when someone passes away or something. I'll take, because I believe it's worth it. The time that I put in, the effort that I put in is worth it. To do someone like my grandpa, my Jaja, or my Mimi, or my Uncle Kevin, and quite a few others to take some time, a lot of time, and energy. put together something nice, well-deserving for him. You know, I believe in that. However, the time that it takes to write something and have it be, you know, to have it be done right, You know, you don't just, it's like not like talking. You go through, I go look at the thesaurus, I'll go back, I'll change things. It's a whole process. So part of this whole deal here, well, I gotta get back to Santino where I mentioned him, and that was at funerals, for example, death. I just listened to the speech by Steve Jobs. That was amazing. And one thing that he said is, you know, death, it's a good thing. It's out with the old, in with the new. Right now, you're in. You know, if you're watching this, you're alive. This world has been around for however many years. The human's been around for how many years? And the fact that we're here, you know, I would rather have lived than not. You know, I'm not too thrilled I have to die. I'm not too, you know, if I could choose to live forever, you know, if I could. But it's out with the old and in with the new. And you're in. And I'm in. And I want to make the most of my time here. And I want to help others do the same. You know, the worst thing that we could ever do is be at the end of our days, or even now, and to be dying and be like, damn, like, that was the life I lived? That's what I did? Like, seriously? Like, really? And that's what it comes down right now to habits. I just got out of rehab 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't too big into, here's what I was basically on Adderall for 3.5 years. It's prescribed, but Adderall is go. Initially, you know, it was pretty helpful for a while. I don't really have ADHD. I told them I did. I told them I had a difficult time focusing. You know, I just can't focus. Tell them what they need to hear. But I really wanted the energy side of it and the focus side of it. And I was trying to get Camera Comrade going, which many of you guys know about and people don't know about. It was a company that I tried to start with a little bit of help, but not enough help, and not enough help for myself. And I thought that Adderall would help with that and just help with everything to be able to catch up. But I felt I was always trying to catch up. I was always showing up late for things. One of the things that one of my rock bottoms was showing up late to my niece Alice's birthday party a month and a half ago, around October 22nd. So, yeah, about a month and a half ago. And I got high the night before on marijuana. And I've been pretty clean from weed. It's my drug of choice. I started smoking weed in high school, essentially junior high, and it was cool for a while and into college. And I think a lot of the reason why people still smoke weed or do anything, drink, smoke weed, certain things, it's nostalgic. You know, it brings it back to those times of, hanging out with the homies, the good laughs. And some people are still doing it, and it doesn't affect them the way that it affects other people. Me, when I'm on weed, my buddy Bud, he said it perfectly. He says he's never seen someone, when I hit the weed, weed hits you pretty fast, essentially transform into a different person. Not like I don't become mad or mean or anything like that. My speech patterns change. I become like a mad scientist. And that's why it was addicting for me. Because I would always get the ideas. My buddy Brent calls them dance plans. He actually created a couple songs. Let's see, I wish he was. He's priceless. One of them was dance plans. Dance plans, dance plans, dance plans. But the actual song was more like Blues Clues. And it goes something like this. Bear with me. Dance plans, dance plans, dance plans. He thinks of an idea. And what does he do? He writes it in his notebook and forgets about it too. Dance plans, dance plans, dance plans. Shout out to Sanger, singing and banging. And shout out to Steve from Blues Clues. When's the last time you thought of Steve? Or what's the dude from MySpace? Tom? What up, Tom? And yeah, there's others. But so point being is that ideas are great. And that's what my dad would say. And people tell me, dude, you got, no one says your ideas aren't great. Nobody says that these ideas won't eventually be a thing or whatever, but they mean nothing if you don't do the step-by-step process to take an idea into something that's real. And that's why this podcast is something that I'm doing that is obtainable. I don't need to ask somebody for money or for equipment or even how to do it. I can get advice on how to do it, but there's nothing stopping me from doing this podcast. And that is huge for me because that's something that I've struggled with for a while, was just getting started. Just doing it. You should see this. I'll have to turn the camera. This place is something else. So where I am right now, I actually lived here for 2 years at this spot. You can't tell. This is a pretty cool little area right here. But I'm basically in a large box. It's 10 feet by 10, 20 feet by 20 feet and 10.5-foot ceilings. And for 2 years, I had my office here. I was trying to start the Camera Comrade, the company where you can book a cameraman for anything, which would be great. And it's, the tagline is seize the moment and capture it. Amazing, right? Like, instead of me setting all this stuff up, I can just go, hey, I'm doing a podcast. Boom. They come on by, they do the lights, whatever you want. Whatever you have, lights, the microphone, the screens, the cameras, what are you looking for, different tiers, whatever price you want to pay, and then allowing people to essentially collaborate. And just, I've told people, it's not necessarily about the camera side of it, the videotaping of it, or the photoing of it. It's why are we asking people to photo or videotape or audio record? Why is that important? And that's the seize. That's what life is about, seizing the moments. And sometimes I'd be videotaping and I'd realize I'm not even being present. I'm missing out. I don't want to go off topic again, but I feel bad for the moms back in the day, the moms. For example, I went through my 22nd birthday pictures at Michigan State, and three of my homies were there. I think Filippo, what up Philly B, Ciani, what up Chode, and maybe Dugan. That was our other, I don't know if he was there or not, but that was our sweet one, the Milford 133. And, my dad, my sister, I think, yeah, and I was like, my mom was there. I know you were there, Mom. Not one photograph of her being there. And she, for sure, took those photographs. And it's not uncommon. And I think that something I want to educate people on is the team effort of capturing for each other. It's something I truly believe in. And we're at Electric Forest. Me and Bill Tron and Bert. What up, Forest fam? This was 2019. And Bill Tron, and he's one of my friends all my friends that I give big credit to, that'll just pull out his phone out if I'm doing something wild and will capture it for me. And he'll say, I got that. He'll send it like, wow. It is an amazing feeling. It is such an awesome feeling of when you were doing something cool, something that you enjoyed, something that meant something to you, and then it was captured. You don't even have to, it's nice when you don't have to ask. So I'm trying to educate people, like, just capture. However, there's privacy things, but these are your friends. Your friends, you guys should know, like, hey, do we want to capture or not? If you say, hey, we don't want to capture, in my opinion, you're missing out. It's something you can't go back and re-record time. You get one shot to encapsulate time. You get one shot to do it. That's when people say, why do you record so much? Why do you do it? I say, this is time. This is happening now. These little things, they matter. These little moments we share together, they matter. These little interactions we have, they matter. It's not about being some big star. I feel like people's priorities, we forget of just how special the moments are that we share with our friends, family. We make new friends, acquaintances. These little times of our lives that are happening now are so special, and a lot of people forget that. And that's why I recommend capturing for each other. You don't need to stand around and videotape the whole time, this and that. But if you just a few video recordings here, a few photos there, like, to go a long way. And record audio. If you're having a conversation with your grandfather, your grandmother, or someone special to you, get your phone, go to sound record, and just put it there. You won't regret it. One of the things I hear a lot is people saying, oh, I had this voicemail and I deleted it. They're gone now and I deleted it. I wish I had that. So this is a little bit of education. I get a little passionate about this stuff here. I'm a lover. I really am a kind person. I really enjoy when people around are happy. I really enjoy making people smile and laugh. And I'm damn good at it, too. I'm damn good at it. And I have this Canadian accent going, and I am part French-Canadian. My Mimi, Doris Riotbell, God rest her sweet soul. God rest her sweet soul. She'd say, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Isn't that true? Let's think about that. A day without laughter is a day wasted. Thank you, Mimi. What an angel. So really try to be present with the people like your grandparents, your parents, your friends, your family. Really try to be present. And because you can't go back. You can't go record or whatever, and I want to have it be so. I want to create a world. So here's a reason why I'm doing this podcast thing. Here's something that I want to come of it. Well, I'm asking for help, not just about the podcast. Like, I have all these ideas, these plans, and I really want to make a team effort. I'm really asking the universe, saying, hey, I have these ideas. You have some ideas. I have some talents. I have some knowledge. You have some talents. You have some knowledge. Money, I don't have a lot of. And, but the money, I said, you know what? I don't need the money to do a podcast. I don't need to ask anybody for money to do the podcast. People ask, why don't you work? Why don't you get a job? And it's a difficult question, but I have answers. It seems so basic, just go get a job, go work. Well, here for people out there have been wondering why. Why doesn't he just go and get a job like everyone else? Well, here's why. Here's why I haven't. And because I do get that. I do. That's why I'm on this podcast, because I want to start working. Okay, that's why I'm clean and sober, because I want to start working. That's why I've been exercising, because I want to start working. That's why I've been eating well for quite a while now, because I want to bring value to this world. The reason why I haven't gotten a job per se is because it would have to be a really unique, special job where I would feel that my skills, talents, knowledge, etc., what I bring to the table wouldn't be wasted. that I would be able to reach my potential. Because I believe that my potential has the ability, I have the ability, capability, and I have the opportunity, and I'm blessed for that, to be able to help out many, 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 many people. You know, and anyone out there, you don't have to help out. You don't have to help out many, many, many people. Just help out a few. Help out who you can. Help yourself. Help others. So what I've learned and what I'm doing now is I am really helping myself. The basics. Sleep. Water. People out there drinking pop, put the pop down. Drink pop once or twice a month. It's a treat. Put the pop down, please. Lime, clean from nicotine. How is it helping me? How would it help me? How does it help? Shout out to Brent Hunsanger. He's one of my few friends that quit cigarettes a few years ago. Regular smoker, quit cigarettes. I was hoping, and I thought it would happen, that a bunch of my other friends would follow his lead. But most didn't. Those things are going to kill us. Those things are going to kill you. And even in the meantime, your shortness of breath, it's no way to live. And in order to feel like normal, you have to use. You know, that's no way to live. That's with any drugs. Like, in order, if that's why I haven't drank alcohol in almost 9 years. You know, and it's a liberating feeling. It's a liberating feeling, knowing that I can go out somewhere, perhaps to a party, and not being like, oh, I have to, you know, I got to drink so I can socialize. Otherwise, it's just not going to be as fun. You know, I get it. Like, I enjoy a good buzz too. I do. And I probably will drink moderately at some point in my life. I'm not doing that until I can provide for myself and someone else. And I'm at a pretty good spot. But in the meantime, I don't care to be drunk, to be buzzed. Especially, as I just mentioned, the liberating feeling of me knowing that I can go out and socialize. Not everyone's the same. Like, I get it. Like, you know, that's, you know, a little liquid courage or whatever. That's okay. That's okay. But don't feel that you need to be drinking to have a good time. You know, I help you have a good time, but don't feel that you need to. "39 views. Historical moment." Okay, what do we got here? Exercise. You know, what time is it? Okay, so 30 minutes. I would say we're opening up to the Q&A here. I'm going to put opening up to the Q&A. Nice blazer. Thanks, Joey. That green, what did you call it? Like the green sparkly blazer, whatever you worded it as. The phone, it's over there. I can't access it. But those people will kill you for that. Opening up for Q&A. What's up, fam? Who will be your first guest? Wow. Great question, Philly B. Wow. This reminds me of, you know, it's like my buddy Vince. It's probably like, but he's, you know, he will definitely be a guest. I don't know if he might actually, well, thank you, Vincent. Vincent, he'll be sort of a guest, but he's also be sort of a teammate. You know, we're even talking about him being on here next week, and us, we're going through an old video. Like, for example, Phil, when I was staying with you in Rolla, Missouri, the Nutt TV pilot episode, it was quite similar. You know, I was 93 days clean from marijuana. I was feeling good about it. I was starting a show, Nutt TV, and I was feeling really good in doing it. And I think Vince talked about we should play some of these old videos on the deeznuttz channel here, and you can go through them. I went through them a few months ago for like 2 hours. There's just some gold. I mean, I'm a little biased or whatever, but I feel that quite a few people would find just some, not just humor in them, a lot of humor, tons of humor. The hot dog video it probably has 50 funny moments. 50. It's a 6-minute video. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. What up, Siani? So the first guest, besides Vincent, man, let me just cop out and just say Vince. BSB, Big Shot Vince. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Oh, happy B-Day, Javo. Wow. Yeah, everyone out there, if you know John Evans, Jova made it Nova, Javo, what doing Javo B-Day? It's his B-Day today. So if it's what time is it? It's only 9 o'clock. He's still up. Wish him a happy B-Day. Actually, the phone's over there. I'm going to write that down. Wish Javo happy B-Day. Okay? I just got that right there. Very important. This is B-Day today. Call Joe, what Filippo says. Oh my God. Oh man. How does it feel to finally cross something off your list? Oh, call Jova. God, it's such a great idea. Should we do it? We'll do it live. We'll do it live. All right, we'll do it live. Oh, whoops. Hello? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. I got to confirm on the mic check. We're calling Javo. See if he answers. I get a mic check. Any? Mike? We can hear you. All right. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. All right, we're gonna call Javo. Wish him a happy B-Day. Let's look for a hot dog. Actually, his name is Hot Dog. His nickname is Jova, John Evans. His nickname is Hot Dog. Why? Because when we were in 6th grade, we had hot dogs, and I took a picture of him back when you had film, and he was eating a hot dog at Morgan Elementary with a tree behind him. And my brother and his friends got a hold of it, and they just thought it was hilarious because he became best friends with my brother and his whole crew at Central, Fire Up Chips. And it was even prior to that. I think it was even prior to that they started calling him Hot Dog. And that is his nickname now. So we're going to call Hot Dog and wish him a happy B-Day. And his picture on here, I'll show you this too. This is priceless. Let's see if we can see it. Can I zoom in a little bit? Let's see. Let's see how good that looks. But that's Hot Dog with a little bit of a fro in Shelby Junior High, 9th grade. That's pretty solid, man. That's pretty good. Let's get Hot Dog on the phone.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of John Evans.
Come
I'm
on,
not available
John.
right now, but if you'd please leave your name and a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
I'm going to try one more, and then I'll leave a message. I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try to... Come on.
Daniel?
Javo! Happy B-Day, buddy.
I've been waiting all day for your call.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I had a lot going on. I actually started my first video podcast today.
Nice.
Yeah, you're actually on. You're actually on right now. You're making history. I made sure out there, we're talking about Hot Dog, because it reminded me of you, and I said, oh, yeah, I got to wish Javo a happy B-Day. I said, make sure you guys out there do it. And then our friend Filippo Vitelli, he said, call him.
That's awesome. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty solid. Yeah, about a week and a half ago, I decided to, actually do something that I've wanted to do for a while and make a video podcast. And I'm finally doing it. I got the lights set up here. I got the computers. I got one camera. Just keeping it basic. I got a little setup behind me. Just trying to kind of work with what I have. And I just went hard for about 40 minutes. We're still live.
Okay.
I did a fire up chips for you. I told the story. I told the story of how your nickname became Hot Dog.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How's things going over there at the place? How's things with you and Terry?
Oh, Terry. Yeah, actually, Terry and I are getting along very well. The last few weeks, have been awesome. Just super good vibes. He, like me, has decided to really work on himself. He actually quit smoking weed, believe it or not. Our buddy, who's been holding it down for a while, actually, he's 3.5 weeks clean from the weeds.
Okay.
So that's pretty serious. That, that goes to show that he's, he wants to, he wants more out of life, just as I do. And I actually just got out of rehab. I don't know if I told you that.
You did not.
Yeah, I was in rehab for 2 weeks. Adderall, a little bit of weed, and more the lifestyle. The sleep schedule, being up all night, showing up late for things. And as Jules came in town,
I saw a picture of you guys.
Yep. Jules was in town, and we did a mushrooms trip. Which
you and Jules?
Me and Jules did a mushrooms trip on the Sunday before Halloween, and I mean it was absolutely wild. It was amazing, and something that came out of that was we're balls deep in this mushrooms trip here at my office, down here in the studio right now where we're at. And he kind of just noticed, the way I was living. He kind of noticed, we knew I was on Adderall too for quite a while. And he saw when I took my shirt off, he just saw how skinny I was. And I haven't always been, I'm not typically jacked, but I've always been pretty athletic. And he just kind of looked at me and was thinking about what he's noticed. And, he went away somewhere, it really helped him out. He's like 9 months clean right now. He's doing awesome.
I was going to say, I'm surprised to hear you say that you guys did a mushroom trip because I thought he was sober.
Yeah, he's sober from everything except the mushrooms trip.
Okay.
And there's psychedelics. There's actually medical supervision. They're starting to become more accepted in the medical field or whatever. I mean, I definitely went balls deep in the mushroom trip. I don't know if it was very medical. But something that came out of it, though, and they say this, is that when he mentioned that I should go to rehab, and people have told me that a couple times before, the last few months or whatever, suggested it, and I always kind of said, no, I don't need to do that. I'll get a hold of it. I'll get this thing figured out. But when he said it, I totally concurred. And, a few hours later, I was on the phone with my dad saying, hey, Dad, I think I need to go to rehab. And my dad said to Daniel, I think that's a fantastic idea. He said, tried to explain it. I'm like, Dad, you don't have to explain yourself. I know what you mean. It is time for me to get some help because life is passing by, Javo.
You're telling me, man. Well, that's awesome, dude.
I feel like it was just your birthday. I feel like it was just your B-Day. That's how fast time goes. I feel like it literally was just your B-Day yesterday.
Well, the vibes sound good, Dan, and I'm glad to hear that things are well between you and Evan. I've been really thinking about hitting you guys up a lot lately because my B-Day is coming up, and I was going to see if you guys wanted to scoot over to the crib and watch some football on the Sunday before my birthday. I think some other guys might come over. I didn't know how that would go, but been thinking about it a lot. But I saw that picture of you and Jules, and I was a little bit jealous. I don't know. I was like, dang, I miss those guys. And I'm obviously curious to know how Jules is doing and think about him a lot and stuff. And so I'm glad that you guys got to hang. That's cool.
Wow, that is some real. It was me, you, and Jules. I was asking Scam if he was when we went and watched Bruce Almighty, if he was there with us. Was it just me, you, and Jules when we were in the back of the theater, bro? And every funny moment, dude, slapping hands, saying, "Let's go!"
God, I can barely remember that. I'm sure it was just us.
I think it was us three, because I asked Evan if he was there, and he wasn't. And that was just a special memory that we hold dear. So that being said, yeah, no, like me, you, Jules, and Scam, and quite a few of us, we have a lot of history together. Vinny Assad, he says, "Tell Hot Dog I said what up."
Awesome, man. I know. I keep tabs on Vinny. He seems to be doing well, so it's good.
Dude, the dude lost 100 pounds. He's more fit than almost anybody I know.
Oh, I know. I see his pictures and stuff. He looks great.
But yeah, but for real though, I haven't been to your place yet. And invite us over. I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll text you guys. Thinking December 11th, which is a Sunday, and just be casual. I think some guys are gonna come over and just watch some football. So
I'm in, Jabo.
Haven't really finalized any kind of guest list or anything. I'm just kind of.
Well, you got 63 viewers right now, and so make sure, yeah. 63 viewers right now, Jabo. We're at. This is a record.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty wild. This is live.
Can you see who it is?
Yeah, we got Filippo. Oh, Filippo says Jabo B-Day Party Podcast. Oh. Don't tempt me with a good time.
I was going to say we may have to save that for next year, but my birthday is kind of happening all the time, all at once. So it's really like an all-encompassing type of thing.
That's deep, bro. That's deep. That's real deep. Let's see, who else we got here, Jabo? Well, we got Nick Assad, who spelled my name without one T. Come on, Nick. Two T's, buddy. But I'll give him a break. He was the first viewer here. My friend Joey, she's from rehab. She's an awesome chick, one of my favorite people now. We're actually going to hang out on Thursday, so I'm excited about that. And we're going to rock Blazers. Jerry Bracey. You remember Jerry? One of Brett Johnson's good buddies?
I do remember Jerry.
Yep, you said what up, Nutt.
I thought wasn't that Brett's cousin, maybe? No?
It is Brett's cousin, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's a good guy. I remember Jerry.
Yep. Wow. But yeah, that's a part of the reason why I'm doing this, Jabo, is people like, what up, Jerry? Like, people like Jerry, who I haven't talked to in forever, but we have these memories together and these friendships, and, it happens to all of us. We end up in our, doing our own thing for so long, and we just, wanting to hang out with me and Jules and feeling kind of jealous. Like, time flies, and I'm doing this podcast because I really want to be more accessible and reachable to people and saying, yeah, I actually do, want to get together.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well and that you're doing that because of that reason. It's so difficult because just like you said, you get busy doing your own thing and then you blink and it's 3 years later when you meant to talk to somebody or since you last when did I see you at golf? That was 6 months ago. It's crazy,
Yep.
So I love it, Dan. Thanks for having me on. Proud to be a guest. So
yeah, technically, Filippo actually, he said who's going to be your first guest. Technically, you're the first guest. And I was unable to answer the question too. I was not including BSV, right? I'm not including BSV. I'm really not sure. And here you are, Jabo on his B-Day. And look at Vince said, look at Vinny. Vince said, look what happens when you actually reach out to someone.
Well, everything in life is about timing, or at least the important things. And you just so happened to catch me at a time where I was able to answer the phone, and I'm happy about that.
You know what, Jabo? I actually dialed you twice. I got your voicemail first, and I said, no. We try again.
You know what? what? I was driving. That's why the cell phone caught me. They said, hey, this guy's driving. You got to keep him safe. But then they were like, no, you know what? Let's let Dan through.
When the universe speaks, sometimes we listen.
Exactly.
Wow. Nice. Wow. Yeah, I'm
safe now, though.
Yep, I'm in for your B-Day shenanigans, and then just in general to stay in better contact. Because I'm sure when we're at golf, we're probably like, yeah, let's talk next month, man. Let's talk in a couple weeks, But if we don't do it, it doesn't happen.
I talked to Skomsky. That was like right before. I don't even remember. It had to be in August or something. And I remember talking to Skomsky, like, yeah, let's watch some football this year. It's like the season's like almost over. It's like it's just, and it's not for a lack of like not wanting to do anything. It's just you get fucking busy. Shit happens. It's crazy.
We'll have to bleep. This is a no. There's no swearing on this podcast. No. He didn't know. He didn't know, world. He didn't know that this is a swear-free zone. He didn't know.
It's not really my MO. I just felt strongly about it.
And I'm glad and you said that because actually something that I want to teach, because I think it's good to not swear often, but when you do, so when you do actually swear, you actually emphasize it. You actually feel strongly about something, to iterate something. So that was actually perfect.
Yeah, see, there you go. I mean, anything else is just empty words, right? It's just saying it just to say it. You're wasting words and shouldn't be part of your normal vocabulary. So I agree with you.
I was just telling because I was like, you can't swear around kids, right? Can't do that.
My daughter is at the point where she's basically mimicking everything we say. So no, I cannot do that.
Has she caught on to any words? Any from you or Stephanie?
No. Well, I can't swear on here, but no. We thought maybe one time yes, but we think she might have said something else.
Okay. You're like ooh.
No, we're pretty. We try to be pretty careful about it. So
nice. Yeah, people think it's funny and stuff when they do, but really it's kind of a challenge to not have it happen. It's really just practice of just not doing it. Really, just not having it be a regular part of your vocabulary in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, let me shoot you and Scam a text early next week and get you guys to confirm coming over on that Sunday. And for all the old pals out there listening, miss you guys. Hope you're all doing well.
Wow, that's fantastic. SJH Wildcats. I actually showed on your picture is right here, your 9th grade yearbook picture.
Grade?
Yep.
Good Lord.
Let's look at that one more time.
Man, it was a good time. It was a good time in our lives for sure. Didn't realize how good we had it until you don't.
Didn't realize how good we had it until you don't. Yep. And I do say, Javo, that the glory days are yet to come. We just have to earn them.
I don't disagree with that. I just think it's all relative. Like everything is relative. So like, yeah, when you're 15 or 16 years old, life's great. You don't have any responsibilities, but different things in life become just as great, even if you do have the responsibility or, people to take care of or whatever. It's just, there's like different seasons of your life, I guess, is one way I've heard it put. And so, like, right now, you and Skomsky are in a good season of your life, just, even if it's short. It can be really short, it can be really long. But, you guys are in a good spot, so you want to just keep that going.
Yeah, ride the wave and just on the up, man. I was telling someone the day, I asked him in the sauna how he was doing. He just, kind of like gave me like a little bit of a negative, like things were going well. But he's like, yeah, I'm kind of like exaggerating. His reason was kind of like, some people dying around, just life changes. But I mentioned to him, like I've been there a little bit, and it feels really good to be on the up. Feels really good to be on the up, Jabo. Because we've been there, man. The struggles are real. I didn't feel pain until the last few years, losing my dog, losing grandparents, uncles, friends, like some real shit. And then to feel that, you didn't spend enough time with somebody, got like Robbie, Jamie Martin, the list goes on. But there's people who are no longer here, and that's one of the biggest regrets is you can't go back in time. So right now I'm really trying to just be as present as possible and just be a better friend and a better family member and essentially a better community member, I guess.
I've learned that community is a big part of your life as you get older. It's not something you don't even really think about at all when you're younger, but Stephanie and I have kind of, we really enjoy the neighborhood we live in. We like going to the library in Sterling Heights, and the community center is really nice, and just like, I don't know, different events and stuff. And I know that's like a community as in the sense of the word, like the community you live in, but also the community of people around you. So like you said, your family, your friends. I'm thankful to have the group of friends that we do, and I say we because it was always viewed as like the older guys and the younger guys, but that's not really how it is. We're all part of the same group. We all grew up in the same area and went to the same schools and stuff, and we all know and respect and love each other. And so I'm thankful to have that still be a big part of mine, and hopefully very soon you feel yours as well.
That was fantastic, Javo. Thank you. Mad feels, bro. Mad feels, Javo.
For sure. Hey, tell Evan I said what up. All right, and happy to jump on with you. I'm gonna jump now, but love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Before you go, I love you too, Javo. Filippo Vitale says Jova needs to be a reoccurring guest. This is great.
Well, we'll see what we can make happen. Well, Filippo's listening. We don't need to tell him any. Filippo, man, I'm pretty sad that I missed you in Vegas a couple years ago when we were there the same exact weekend. My wife and I go every year, so when we plan our trip for next fall, I'll let you know. I'd love to meet up with you there. We were in Vegas at the same exact time, and we ended up missing each other. There's a lot to do in Vegas. We had too much going on, and didn't get to meet up with him. So maybe next time, bud.
There we go. Look at that. There you go. Write it down. Bring it to fruition.
All right, brother.
Perfect.
I'll talk to you soon.
See you, Javo. Happy B-Day.
Thanks,
B-Day, buddy.
Later.
Wow. Phil, great idea. Thank you. That's one of my best friends growing up, John Evans. We grew up in the same neighborhood. I moved to Versailles Gardens in 1995. He was, adjacent in Kelly Court, and then there was Royal Forest. And we had an awesome neighborhood crew growing up. Like, just blessed. Like, and probably 10 or so of us, basically fellers, young boys, that all got along. We played some, street hockey, played a little bit of, I guess that was our main game, a little basketball, but it was more just hanging out, laughing, having a good time. Some video games, going to the movies, doing whatever, just some characters. And then we all went on to, junior. We had different age range. We had a few years, I feel like Jake, JK, and Reuter. They were, graduated 03, and my brother graduated 04. And he had Timmy D, graduated 04 as well. And then 05 would be Anthony DiCarlo. 06, which was Big Anthony, because Little Anthony was Vince's brother, Anthony Assad. He's graduated 07. Flora, he graduated 07. His nickname was Hong Kong, another awesome nickname. Then you had even Mike Borelli. He came a few years after. He graduated 04. Played a lot of street hockey with him. Gerby, he came there in 97 maybe. And then there was Jeff Gerby, who graduated 02. Actually played baseball for the Tigers, basically. But he got injured. I think he had his elbow, so he never made it to the big leagues. He played on their minor league team. Am I missing any? I don't want to. Now that I've mentioned the names, I don't want to forget a core member here. Oh, my brother already mentioned him. All right. If I didn't mention you, then and then I didn't mention you. So, getting kicked out of Dairy Queen. Okay, yes. So I became quite a subject visitor of the local Dairy Queen, the DQ, and we wanted to make good laughs. Matt K. I said Gerby. Varun. Pause on what I was going to say. So Varun here. What up, man? Long time no see. Varun, I mentioned Rolla, Missouri, Filippo, who's been quite active on this, a part of this. Actually, this reminds me of Blinko TV. This is like the new Blinko TV. When you and Beetle and Neff and Burr maybe were doing Blinko TV, it's kind of brought me back because it was on the opposite end, though. I was in the chats. And Phil and Neff and either Beetle or Burr or both were the panel. And, I am going to have more people on here. I have a couch right there that can have up to three guests on that couch. Javo was our first guest today. We'll get him in the person here at some point. Also, we're gonna do virtual guests. I'd be able to, instead of Javo being just on the phone like that, Javo could pop up on the screen. So a lot of stuff like that. Varun is him and a guy named Brajesh. I think I pronounced it correctly. They were, and they had a female friend of theirs as well who was a part of the group and cool. And I know her name, but it's just not jumping out right now. If you don't use it, you lose it. Varun, though, Brajesh. They lived 2 or 3 apartments down. Liz. That's why I'm on the podcast right now. This is amazing. I was like, oh, what's her name? My man Varun. It's Liz. What's up, Liz? It's perfect. Thank you. I wish right now, if I was really on top of it, I'd actually queue up some photographs of Varun, Brajesh, Liz, Filippo, myself, a couple others from when we were in Rolla, Missouri. We watched Django Unchained together. That was one of our first memories. I came over and watched Django back when that came out. That movie was just off the chains. It was off the chains. But just random memories. I remember eating food. I think eating curry. I think they made some curry or something, and they gave us a meal. And people who know me, oh, Comb Phi! Holy mackerel! I'm Isaiah. I get excited because I saw Comb Phi here. That's Isaiah Sanju, who I mentioned at the beginning of the show, who gave me the advice, Isaiah. You probably remember this because someone gave you this advice, that instead of trying to be funny all the time and serious some of the time, switch it and go 70% serious, 30% funny, aka let the funny happen. Let the funny happen. And that was just, he's one of the reasons too that I even joined Podcapify. He is, maybe his wife, perhaps his cousins with the Nikki Nagel family. And I met him at her graduation in 2006. And he actually told me about this fraternity. And I was like, whatever, cool, maybe I'll stop by. And that wasn't why I ended up there. I ended up there because there's a guy named Jordan Schwass. And, yep, that's right. And Jordo changed my life. And many others, because the people that joined that fraternity that branched out from me, like Filippo, and like Dugan, Ciani, Beetle, Secreto, you got Durf, you got D-Rock, you got Alex Hank. Man, should I just go down the list right now? I'll get back to that. But the people that branched out from me all started, which is a little known fact, of when Jordo recruited me. He recruited me and Ciani. Ciani and I were roommates at Michigan State. We lived in Armstrong in the Brody area. And we went to a party at SAE, Wine Wednesday. And we're having a good time or whatever. And we're by the stairs. And this guy kind of like bumps into us, passes by. And at first we kind of like got a vibe like he was just like an asshole. Like, Like, man, and then he quickly went from kind of like in his own little world, was drinking his own little world, to a recruiting moment. And Jordo basically said, hey, what's up, guys? Yada, yada, yada. Do you guys want to come to a poker game tomorrow at our fraternity called Pi Caps? And he said, I'll pick you up. And, we exchanged numbers, and he did. Jordo picked up me and Siani from Armstrong at Brody Hall and brought us to the Collie House, 520 Linden, 826 Collie. I bet Isaiah knows what the address is at Collie. Isaiah, what's the address at Collie? I bet you know it. And I played poker. And Siani and I both played poker, but I actually kept playing. I made it all the way to the final table, and I actually saw another guy named Eddie. Rest in peace, Eddie Cusack. He passed away a couple of years ago. I found that out just a few months ago. I don't know. I believe it might have been even suicide, which is one of the worst things that anyone could do. We don't know, not to say that we're judging, but it's one of the saddest things. One of the saddest things, no doubt. So Eddie actually was our AOP. Siani and I, during the summer, you got to go to AOP, which is where they go to Michigan State or wherever, the other colleges, and they show you around. Well, he was our guide. Eddie Cusack was our guide. And actually, I have some priceless video footage of Eddie Cusack in his element. It's getting the goosebumps right now. I have video footage of Eddie, who we knew, who's now passed. I have him, he possibly, I believe, from suicide. And this was him, like when he is in the prime of his life, feeling amazing. I have that on video that I can share with his friends and his family. I'm going to write that down. Share Eddie videos with friends and family. That was a beautiful house. Too pretty for Pi Caps. R.I.P. Eddie. Yep. Or R.H. Maybe that was rest in heaven, perhaps. That could be an intentional. Actually, probably, yeah. That's not even close to the P. Rest in heaven, Eddie. But yeah, so that's that story, and that goes to show the importance of some of the reason why we record, why we take pictures and video. Like it's real. Like Eddie's gone now. There is video footage that I have of Eddie at a very happy time in his life that I'm sure that his friends and family will love to see. So I'm going to share that with them. So, yeah, so there's Isaiah's here. It's so Varun, Phil, Vince. Actually, I saw Aaron Berger subscribed. He's here. What's up, Aaron Berger? Aaron Berger, 98 views. We're rocking and rolling. What is it, Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Tuesday, give it up for Tuesday. Tuesday, I feel like, it just doesn't, it doesn't get enough. It doesn't, I don't know. It's probably some kind of humor there, but can't force it. 70% serious, 30% funny. Don't force it. Don't force the funny. Let it happen. So Aaron Berger, it's Taco Tuesday. Okay. Vincent, typically I'm the snack guy. And there are so... Wait, watch this. It's like a magic trick. Watch this. It's like a magic. You can't even see. Like you don't even. It's like it's like a magic trick. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh, ah. It's like a magic. Ready for this? These are almonds, and you watch my technique of transferring the almonds to, my body. My hands, they're compromised. I can't account for them. I'm not just going to reach in and start grabbing almonds. I'm not even going to pour them into my hand. I cannot account for these. They are compromised. I've been touching everything. I don't know for sure what's on it. There's microorganisms. So that's something that I'm actually going to get into on this podcast is techniques that we can use to stop spreading sicknesses. It's not just about COVID. I hope one of the silver linings that came out of COVID was the germ awareness and the techniques to be aware that, yeah, there's microorganisms and we can transfer these to other people. Here's some things that we can do to not have that happen. That's a silver lining of COVID. However, even during this, like when I was at rehab, masks were mandated. I thought the masks were over. And I'm not saying that COVID's over and whatever, but I thought that the masks, I was surprised. And whatever, it's not a big deal, whatever, but at the same time, the handles, all the door handles, everyone's touching all the handles. Okay, well, there's something called an arm bar that you open like this, and there's a foot pole that you open with your foot. And I was like, we're doing all this mask stuff. Like, I'm not just worried about COVID. Like, I don't want to catch, a sore throat, the flu, cold, whatever, and where everyone's just like touching handles, but we're wearing masks. And then when we're like in a small area, like actually like just everyone takes their masks off so they can actually talk. It's just so ridiculous. So if you're gonna have people wear masks, also have people not touching the handles. Vinny Assad, I have COVID right now. Get well, Vincent. And anyone out there who has COVID, get well. If you're compromised or whatever, immune or whatever, either get the vaccine or be super cautious, whatever you gotta do. And at any point in time, start eating well. Yeah, the basics. Watch this, almonds. Watch this, it's easy. It's easy, watch it. We're gonna waterfall it. Easy. Oh yeah, what about 8 or 9? Almonds are almost hydrate you. Does anyone out there feel that about almonds when you eat them? They're almost hydrating. Wow, it's like I'm a little parched. I'm also hungry a little bit, and it's hitting the spot. So let me this is a good time. Oh, here we go, Comfi. He said, gotta put these kids to bed. I subscribed and will be listening. Cheers, my brother. Cheers, Isaiah. Thank you for being you, doing you. I wish I had come to the PyCap reunion. That was nothing personal. I kind of planned on it, but I wasn't technically in the best spot. Let's do that again. Wait a minute. That was almost a year ago. Yeah, we should go out to his restaurant, Comb Fi in Shelby Township or Macomb. It's a Thai restaurant. It's got incredible reviews. Okay, here we go. Watch this. That's what we do. It's a trick. Go to Comb Fi. A lot of things don't happen unless you write them down. Thank you, Vincent. Shout out to my boy Randall Dandle. Confirmed. Nuts provide hydration. LOL. This is amazing, by the way. Give me a second. Just really. Oh, that's fantastic. Vincent has a little mini story he wants me to share. So, snack related. Randall will attest. I need snacks. I have to have nourishment. Especially if you're going to party. So when Vince won a trip, an all-inclusive trip. It was unbelievable. I was at his house in his room, and he goes to his email. It's like, or either phone call or email. I think it was an email, and it said, hey, you won the grand prize, a trip to New York for the Ciroc P. Diddy pool party. We'll be paying for your hotel, your flight, and you get to go to this exclusive Ciroc pool party. Cue the photos. Cue the vids and the photos. So while we were there on this, before I tell this story, this is earlier that day. So we partied in the morning. We got a limo with some other winners to the Ciroc pool party. It was awesome. It was super cool. Met some cool people. Had a great time. But that's back when I drank. So we day drank, right? Vince and I day drank, and we're in the sun, and it was awesome. Well, we wanted to go out that night, right? We went around during the day. We walked around, live it up. But prior to going out, we needed to rest, and we took a little nap for an hour or two. We got up. You know what typically you do? You take a shower. Right? Get you going. So Vince goes in there, takes a shower. He gets out. He starts he puts his pants on, and then he says to me, he goes, I got to take another shower. He took 2 showers. I got to take another shower. I got to get back in there. And he went back in there and was in there for another solid 10 minutes. He took 2 showers in order to get ready because one shower didn't do it for him. Typically, you're tired or whatever, you got to go in the shower, wake you up. No, Vince needed 2 showers. So that was pretty classic. But later on that night, so going to the party, it was a Hardwell and Porter Robinson, which are 2 big names in the EDM industry. And it was at whatever big theater, whatever you want to call it, place where they do shows. And of course, I bring some snacks. I brought a Cliff Bar. I had it in my pocket. We're partying. I might have even been with my friend Molly. I think it was me and Vince, and maybe, if I remember correctly, Molly might have came with us. I think we might have stuck her in, too. I'm going to snuck her in. So I believe it's important, and people on there, not just me, people are in there drinking and on drugs and partying, this and that people should be able to have some nourishment. So I was like, I didn't think it was a big deal. It's 2012. I didn't know. I didn't think it was a big deal for me to say, all right, it's like declaring. I'm declaring the Cliff Bar. I declared the Cliff Bar, and you know what this security guard did? This is protocol. You don't put things on the It's like the cops. The cops are there to enforce the laws. They can be nice or in the middle or dickheads about it. There's a way that they can enforce it, but essentially you're picking beef with the wrong people. You got a problem with the cops? Talk to the lawyers. Get some laws changed. So, like the security guard, I wasn't like, no. He was being told, he's getting orders, no food allowed in there, which is a very silly rule. If something is wrapped and unopened, you should be able to bring it in anywhere. You know what he said to me? Why I couldn't bring it in there? What I told him? Hot dogs. Back to hot dog. Because they were serving hot dogs. I couldn't bring my Cliff Bar with some actual nutrition into this show when I was on drugs and drinking is a drug, because they had hot dogs there for me to eat. So I had to I didn't have to. Looking back on it, Vince and I, why did I do this? I just wanted to get in the club. I was on drugs and drinking. I didn't want any problems. I took my Cliff Bar, and it was so difficult for me to do. And I must have not have been hungry, because otherwise I would just ate it real fast. Or maybe I thought the line was moving or whatever. I should have given it to someone. But you know what I did? I threw it in the trash. I threw a perfectly great, edible, nutritious Cliff Bar into the garbage. I don't do very well in panic situations. One time I was with Vince, and I actually left my gun we were going for Easter Bunny outfit, and I left it on the floor at Party City. Because I was taking pictures. It was in my bag, right? It was my jacket. It was in my jacket pocket. I have a CCW or CPL or whatever. So, which is very important. I highly recommend getting one. Highly recommend. The reason why I have one is because they said 10% chance that someone around you will have something, a firearm to protect you in case something will go bad. Well, people say, hey, you live in Shelby Township. Why do you have one? Well, I was at the gym today. I was at the grocery store. Man, wherever I'm at any moment, someone could come in there and start shooting. What am I going to do? Like, everybody, what am I going to do? Well, let me go out to my car real quick, and let me duck, and this and that. Like, there was a shooting that happened at in the mall at a food court last year, I believe, and it was over in less than 15 seconds. 2 people unfortunately died. That's sad for them and their families. But this guy had 100 rounds. He was expecting to do some serious damage. And he was neutralized in 15 seconds. Why? Not because someone called the police and said, oh, we got a shooter, come save us. No, because a bystander. Because a bystander took it upon himself to, like I do, I hope I never have to use it. But in the case with this bystander, like that could be any one of us, I'll be glad that I have it and I'm able to stop the situation immediately. So instead of 25 people dead and 25 families sad, you got 2 people dead and 2 families sad. Because someone pulled out their concealed pistol and neutralized the situation. So please, I feel like I'm the only one like Vince that can realize, oh, what up? What up? Wise Bicky? What up? Oh, we're doing this thing. Preach. Yeah, preach. Because, dude, for real. We have the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment, it's here for a reason. It's not just to hunt. It's just, it's just to hunt. No. It's not just to hunt. It's not. And congratulations to anyone out there who has successfully hunted this season. If you're going to kill something, eat it. Some people remove themselves. I think about this. People say, hunting's bad. Oh, I can't believe you do that. But then they're the same people who are at the restaurant getting a chicken steak burger. But we remove ourselves from the kill, the taking of the life. I don't kill bugs and insects. I actually have a nickname, Worm, because I saved a worm. My buddy Timbo Hennigy. We were at playing street hockey outside their house back in the day in Sterling Heights, Hennigy country, as they called it. And I saved a worm, and I took it off the street, and I dug a little hole, and I buried it. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm saving this worm. I thought it was a normal thing to do. I thought it was just what people did. I thought when you saw a worm in distress, that you take it up and dig a little hole and then bury it. And I don't know how do worms breathe, by the way? If anyone can answer me that, how worms breathe without Googling it, please, in the comments. It'll be our first. Can you please tell everyone about the bunny rabbit? Jesus. Okay, perfect. It's perfect. It's very relatable. So I didn't have my car. I had a vehicle, like, a vehicle you drive, and it was in the shop. And Lifetime is right down the street from me. So I was able to walk there, right? Well, while walking back, I saw a bunny rabbit. And I was like, please either be alive or dead, not hurt. What it was? Well, what was it? It was a hurt bunny rabbit. Clearly got hit by a car, and it was in that position, that hurt, scared position. And when I moved it a little bit, it's like its leg, something in its hip and its eye was bleeding out of its eye. So the reason Vince wants me, okay, worms absorb oxygen through the skin, ? Okay, can you do the trio, Nick? These are great. I love my friends. Like Javo talking and me talking, we are blessed. And that is part of the reason I mentioned earlier why I'm on this podcast, why I'm doing this thing, is I want to reconnect. I want to be involved in your lives. I actually wanted to be able to just, you got something going on? I want to show up. I want to be present. Like video chats? I want to set up a video chat where I don't have to be stuck to this chair. I can move over there and either the camera moves, the mount, or another camera goes on me. And I think that is the next level for this whole virtual experience, for us not to be holding, FaceTiming like this And please, if you're FaceTiming, I don't know why it's not included in the Apple by default. Screen record, but then the audio doesn't get recorded. It's ridiculous. Apple, hey, Apple, mediocrity. Hey, mediocre Apple. Allow people to record their FaceTime calls, please. Thank you. My mom, I watch my mom have the most incredible conversations with my nieces, or my niece and my nephews, and my brother and my sister and sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And it's just like an easy time where that moments could be recorded, but Apple does not offer the option. Apple, step your game up. I guess Apple's been censoring. I guess there's a big. I checked the Twitter today. Shout out to Twitter. Is that controversial to say shout out to Twitter, to Elon Musk, and to end censorship? Am I going to be canceled for that, for agreeing with that censorship is bad? You know, I'm so tired of this right and left, right and left. To me, it's wrong and wrong. To me, moderation in the middle. But can we agree to disagree on some things? You know, can we agree to disagree? And the two-party system is literally there to keep us divided. Like, can we just wake up? Can we just step back for a second and stop blaming? Just stop. Just like when I see people just like even like in rehab, like this awesome chick, Marianne, she's super cool. You know, she's left. And like when she found out that I voted for Trump, her whole, I kind of blew her mind a little bit by how she didn't expect that. She didn't expect that, you know, the way I am, the way I dress, like how I treat people, like that I could be such a, like me, be a kind, interesting person that was so, like I'm so hip that I could have voted for Trump. It blew her mind. And why did I vote for Trump? I voted for Trump because basically, one main reason, economics. And I tell anyone this on the far left or whatever, that the economic policies, they just mathematically don't make sense. And all the social issues, and that's where the right's got it wrong on the social issues. Like, allow people to be, like, let me be. This is not your body. I'm in my body. As long as my actions don't affect you, please, let me be. And when people are just so bewildered by, you know, how could this person be gay, or how could this person be a trans even? Like, I get like the bathroom thing, and like some people may abuse the trans thing. I get that's it. But like 90% of that is just the way someone feels. It's the way they feel. I'm a dude and I feel like a chick. I'm a chick and I feel like a dude. Do I think that we should be encouraging children to want to go from a guy to a girl? Like, do I think that we just like encourage it? That's where it's another one of those gray areas. It's a gray area. So, but the far right, it's like golf. I compare it to golf. I'm unsubscribing. See, you can't. Oh, 2 trios. Oh my gosh. Holy Mac. You should just become a news anchor. You got the look. Nick. Ryan Weisbicki, trio. I actually did the trio for the first time in 2 years. Brad Mork was there. Bradley, what's up, buddy? I did it in the sauna at Edge Fitness last week, and because one of his buddies ended up seeing a buddy who they went to Shelby Junior High with, and I said I went to Shelby Junior High as well, with Eisenhower, and I told him a story about the trio, and I said, well, I'm gonna tell the story, I got to do it. Dan Burgundy, Dan Rogan, Local 4 News. So anyhow, real quick on the bunny rabbit. So I ended up putting it. What else am I doing? For 45 minutes, I sat there. Like everyone in the car drives by. It's easy to see an injured animal and drive by when you're in a car. But when you're walking and you see a rabbit that's not, it looked like it had hope. So what did I do for 45 minutes? I watched one guy. There's one person out of 15 people that at least asked me what's going on, and he's like. And I said, there's this bunny rabbit, this and that. And he was like, oh, good luck with that, sort of. I got to go, whatever. But everyone else, and plus, too, I'm a stranger. It's easy to, for their own safety to not. But, like, is that where we're at in this world? That you see somebody, their lights are on me. there's a bunny, and then how difficult is it to at least roll down your window and say, hey, is everything all right? Is that the fear that we have now where we're at, is that we're just so afraid that we always want to take the path of least resistance. I think it's very common. Me? Bro, if I saw someone with this bunny, whatever, I'd be like, am I in a rush to be somewhere? But at a minimum, I'd at least roll my window down and say, hey, best of luck with that. I hope it goes well. So what I did, I picked the bunny up, put it in my bag, my gym bag, try not to hurt it. Got it all the way here, brought it here, made a little cage area around it. Tried to feed it some spinach. Ended up picking dandelions for it. What they really like is hay. If you ever save a bunny rabbit, make sure you get hay. I bought pet food for it, but it wouldn't eat it. And sadly, 3 days later, I actually missed the opportunity. You can take it to a nature conservatory in the area. You can do that. But it just wasn't a great time in my life. I was sleeping in late, and I missed the window on it, and it's something that really hurt. I let that bunny die. I did more than the minimum. Most people just drive by. I did more than the minimum, but it's something that hurt. I let that bunny down. And one of the reasons why Vince wants me to tell you about it, too, is that I had it in my freezer for, it had to be 3 or 4 months. They say, why is there a bunny rabbit in your freezer? I'm like, well, that way it doesn't rot and smell. I didn't want to just throw it away. Eventually, my buddy Tim and I, eventually we had to get it out, and we put it in a bag. He did it, and we walked it over to the dumpster, and it's on video, and I said some words. I said, Bunny, I wish that I would have gotten you hay, perhaps, and then gotten you to the conservatory. I wish I would have done that, and I'm sorry that I didn't. And at the same time, though, I do believe and know that I gave that bunny a little bit of comfort. Instead of it dying there on the side of the road, just alone in the dark, everyone driving by, just there, just suffering alone, I gave it a nice little home. And I was a friend, a companion for that little rabbit. So, next. Then he put it in his freezer. Did you use gloves? Yes. Yes, I did. Good question, Randall. Randall's a hunter. People are afraid of others. Yep. Is there anyone? These are great. Ryan Weisbicki, your Snapchats are priceless. So keep up the great work. You with your gun, when you said F Randall, said the real word though, F Randy, and he takes his gun, and Randy's Oreos, and he butts his Oreos, he breaks them all up. I mean, it was just priceless. Him and Randall, they do some pranks on each other too. They're best friends, and they're up there right now. I think they're live from up north. I think we can wrap it up with hot dog. This was a scary moment because you left your keys in your car also. Okay, back to the story of when I left my gun at Party City. I don't do very well in panic situations. I think this was from the Cliff Bar talk when I panicked and I threw the Cliff Bar in the garbage. Well, when I realized that my gun was in my jacket, it was in my jacket at Party City, what did I do? I was like, we're going to Size Up Supplements. Size Up, which is right over there, Size Up Shelby. And Vince was getting some supplements, so I was like, in this panic situation, I realized my gun is in my jacket at Party City on the ground. I gotta get there as fast as possible. Like, it's not a good situation. Freaked out. We gotta get your supplements real fast. Go to Size Up, get your supplements. And I took my keys, and because I was in such a panic situation, I managed to toss my keys on my seat, or lock it. Toss the keys on my seat, which I've never done before, and slam the door. Think about that. Lock car, toss keys in the car, slam door. My gun is on the floor at Party City, and now my car, I cannot access it. I just made my car inaccessible. So we go to Size Up. I talk to a homie behind the desk, working the counter, and people always work there. Shout out to the Size Up people who work behind the counter. Just the best vibes, informational, just super cool. I got to come see you guys. It's been a minute. So I tell him the situation. He says, what you need to do right now you need to call Party City and talk to the manager and have them secure your coat. And I said, thank you. So I got on the phone, called them. They're like, yeah, we have your coat. We're put it in this closet. And they didn't say anything about like a gun in the coat. Didn't open up the pockets. So it was secured. And now I had to call a tow truck, call a locksmith, AAA, to unlock the lip. So it's like how I started this podcast today. Most of you guys came in a few minutes after, but I started it with some breathing techniques because it's just so important. Even right now, I realize I'm talking a lot. Like I'm getting a little hungry, probably a little thirsty. I need to slow it down. And now it's been an hour and some amount of minutes, 35 minutes. We got a $1.24 viewers. So we are going to need to wrap it up. I did say this thing was going to be essentially 45 minutes, but, you know, why end a party early when it's still rocking? Does it say how many people are watching still? Because it says 8 people are watching on my part. Oh, okay. So there's 124 views and only 8 people are still here. All right. So shout out to the 8 people that are still here, and shout out to the people who came tonight. I was like 124. That's amazing, but that's just total views. Average view duration, 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Hey, that's 5 minutes and 33 seconds more than 0 seconds. So I suppose we'll wrap it up. Is there any stories that I didn't finish? Next time you have to do some clickbait. Yeah, people do that. But I only have. Yeah, please subscribe. Shout out to Aaron Berger. Oh, I never finished the Aaron Berger's. Whoa, what's going on here? Where did we go? What happened? Where am I at? What just happened? What the heck? Am I back on? Hello? Holy mackerel. Okay, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Because, okay. Nick A, next time maybe try Facebook Live or Twitch for more viewers. Good suggestion, Nicholas. Okay, so the reason why I'm on YouTube and not Facebook, for example, this doesn't include Twitch, and the reason why I chose YouTube over Facebook Live is because, as I told Vince, I don't want to force myself on anybody. You know, Facebook's where all my friends are. I have, like 3,500 some actual friends on there. And I don't want to just come on Facebook and say, everybody watch me. I put my link on there, and that's why some people are here tonight, that they saw the link, but they chose to come to YouTube and see what's good. And also, another reason too is I want to actually be doing something. Not saying I'm on Facebook Live, what I'm doing. No, I'm on YouTube. I'm doing a podcast. I'm taking it seriously. Here's something that I'm doing. If you want, come support me. If you don't, well, you can stay on your Facebook. You don't have to come to YouTube. But if I was on Facebook, well, now I'm just like on Facebook, all up in your grill. That's not what I want to do. And then, yeah, that's one reason. But Twitch, though, certainly considering. Brian Wise-Bicky says trio. So far, we have 2 trios. If we can get a trio chant in here, if we can get whoever's left in here, okay, that's another trio. Randall Dandle. But yeah, shout out to Aaron Berger, and then shout out to, so it's back to Podcapify, some of his best memories he told me is real quick. We'll probably do the trio. Just real quick, some of his best memories were with him and a best friend of his, Gage. And Filippo remembers Gage. And we brought him in, man. We welcomed him there, and that had something to do with solidifying their friendship. Their time at our house helped solidify what became a best friendship. And unfortunately, Gage passed away. I think some stupid medical condition, some bullshit. At the age of what? That was in 2019. I think it was an electric forest. 2019. I got a text message from Phil maybe that Gage passed away. Like, it's horrible. The dude was probably 2 years younger than me, so probably died at the age of like, I don't know, 28 or 29 or something. Too young. But Aaron Berger talked to me before I went to rehab, and we had a really meaningful conversation. And we talked a little bit about Gage and a little bit about life. And I want to share some of the, hopefully I have videos of Gage that I want to share with you, Aaron. So, love Gage. Filippo. Yeah, there we go. Love Gage. Yeah. So, there's pictures for sure. And I really hope that in the archives, and I believe it, and I told Aaron that I would, and actually wrote it on my list to put it again here. Gage archives. It's on a list here, but we'll put it here as well. So that's just some real there. I wanted to mention that. We should make a Discord. Yes, I agree, Vincent. Discord. Make Discord. I completely concur. Well, I also want to make music. So this needs to be a movement more than just, you should make some pancakes. Okay, let's do it. I've actually always wanted to make, I've never ever made pancakes. I seriously love pancakes, and my mom would make the pancakes. We had the sleepovers, and she'd come by. Me and Skomsky were just joking about this a few days ago. We missed the days of the sleepovers, and my mom, Judy, Angel, she'd come to the door. We had to get up from sleeping, and then she'd go, "Wake up, boys!" And when she'd walk away, she'd go, "Shake, shake, shake." Or no, she'd go, "Shake your booties, boys. Shake your booties. Time to get up." And then she'd walk. There's a song. And she'd walk away saying it, "Shake, shake, shake, shake your booties." And I hear, "Shake, shake, 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 shake." I don't know if probably Jules, he isn't here. He's working right now. Skomsky, remember that? Jabo is his B-Day. And probably a few others would remember that. And she'd always have the best pancakes. Quick story. Breakfast the next day after a sleepover. Maybe Jules, Skomsky was there. Maybe Jabo. Maybe Tanner. I think Tanner was there. Yeah, maybe Jabo and Jules and Scom. When you're not present, I was just, we're conversing, and I took the Sunny Delight. Remember Sunny D? It turns out it was horrible for us, but I loved it. Took the Sunny D as if it was syrup and just poured it on my pancakes. I believe Tanner, T-Money, Razzle Dazzle was there for that, I believe. And then perhaps Jules and Java, I'd have to ask. But that is just the priceless one. But one of the funniest things that my dad ever said to us involving marijuana. So we'll do this real quick. Can we count on you Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m.? Do we do 8:30? Do we do 7:30? Is 8:30? It seems we'll have to put it up to a vote. I was trying to do this at 7:30, but I didn't have the setup set up, so it got moved to 8:30. So maybe 8:30, 8 o'clock, or 7:30. We'll talk more about that, I suppose. Something to consider. Definitely discuss. I have a little mastermind group here, a little podcast match. And I also want to get some of you guys involved as guests. I don't want to be the only person on here just doing the chatting, even virtually. We can be having a conversation like this, and I can have guests here as well. And I want to have this place here, and you guys can only see this area, but it's bigger than just this corner area. I want to have this be a place where people are often. I want to make this podcast a place for people to interact on, but I also, just in general, a big goal of this is to start working. I want to work on things. I don't want to just be talking. I'm a great talker. I love talking, and I love listening, and I love interacting. But a big part of this, I want to actually create I want to build. So that's why we're going to have a little mastermind group, and we're going to take this quite serially. I want to make music too. Whenever I tap this, it makes me want to make music. I'm holding in a fart right now. This is what I do. It's like when you're in a relationship, you don't fart right away, and you also don't want to smell the farts. So what you do if you want to, once you actually start dating someone, if you're serious, you can't just hold in your fart. It's not healthy to hold in farts. So what you do, watch this. You walk. I don't want to, because I don't want to sit in it. I don't want to sit in it either. One time I was doing dishwashing. I farted. I was like, I don't have to stand here and sit in my own stink. Like I had to walk away. Told that story. Shout out to Dave Busonic, awesome guy from the Canadian Lakes Invitational Tournament. Well, now I just held the fart and I'll have to wait. So, but here's, well, you don't want to push either, but here, we'll see what happens. I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to face it that way. Kind of lost it, but it's probably still there. Take a good breath. I think I lost it. We'll see. Oh. That's it. Okay, well then now, you don't just, it's like getting in the car. You don't just fart outside the car and jump right back in, right? No. You go like this. Can you see me? Okay. I'm going to lift up back here. Do some of that. Come on a little, so I can see it. Some of that. And really, let's see if I can grab it real quick. Fight it out here. That's how you fart. That is how you fart properly. Y'all taking notes? This does not look right. I also have the ability to suck in air. I haven't done this in a few years, and I think I tried it a year ago and it still worked. But did it at Shelby Junior High. It was mainly in 7th and 8th grade. And a talent where some people can do it. You can suck in air in through your butt and fart. It's called getting air. And one of my favorite stories doing that, and I just told this the other day, my good friend, and rest his soul, one of the best, most genuinely kind-hearted people, like an actual good person, like as I think Danny Crank said, not a bad thing to say about him. And that was our friend Jamie Martin. And Filippo was best friends with Jamie Martin growing up. We all cherish our memories with him and others that have gone. But one of my funny stories involving him, he had us over for a sleepover in 7th grade. I think Tanner was there. Who else was there? For sure, Tanner, Jamie, me, and I think like 3 others. Hunsinger, maybe? We'll have to find that out. I'm curious who was there. So anyone who was there will remember this, because Jamie was so proud of me that his friend had this skill, this talent, and he wanted to show me off to his parents and his sister, the whole family. So he got me into the kitchen. We're all there, and he had told his parents, he was bragging. He was bragging that he had a friend who could suck in air through his ass and fart. And he had me demonstrate, put on a show for his family. So we're doing it. I get on all fours. It's like, you arch the back. You kind of like, imagine this is my butt, and you kind of arch. It's like a downward dog. It's like a downward dog in a yoga pose. And you got to relax the sphincter. You relax the sphincter. You let it breathe. You just let the sphincter breathe. So what it does is it goes. You keep going. You keep trying to fill up. Eventually, you're full. Like your lungs fill up. Like so does your asshole. And my farts, they're very high pitched. So like one of the famous farts, chode. Shout out to Ciani. I have it saved on a recorder from 9th grade or whatever. I still have the recording. I just sent it to Ciani. It says Chode's favorite fart, and he goes, and you hear his laugh, and maybe Gerby's laugh, and Jova's. So anyhow, I'm high-pitched farting, putting on a show. We're all laughing, and I didn't want to lay up. I didn't come there to lay up. Leave it all on the field. I got his family's watching, and Jamie's talking me up. I gotta bring my A game. Gotta bring my A game. So, just let one rip. And I knew what happened. No one else did, but I came clean. I said, I'm pretty sure I just pooped my pants. We all laughed a little bit. I went downstairs, I remember, like private. I shook my leg, and a little turd nugget came out. I pooped my pants in front of Jamie Martin's entire family, minus Eddie. I don't think Eddie was there. Priceless, though. Priceless. And R.I.P. Jamie Martin, one of the coolest, nicest, funniest. He's someone, actually, I think Timbo told me this story. He did a mushroom strip. It's probably unknown to whatever people know. I thought it was very interesting because mushrooms can have a life. They can change. It's called ego death. It can really help change a life. He did a mushroom strip, and back in college, maybe senior year of college, and the next day, he never smoked marijuana again. He smoked some marijuana here and there, and when he did the mushrooms, he literally stopped smoking weed because weed, it can be a cool thing or whatever, but if you realize that it's hindering your ability to get further, it's like anything you're not doing in moderation, you got to stop for a while. And he took the mushrooms, next day, didn't smoke weed anymore, and just in general, got his shit together and was super successful. He's, he's doing real estate. Yeah, guys, I remember at McClenaghan's telling me that he was getting his real estate license. Everyone knows he won the Bad Beat jackpot in poker. Vince says don't do that again. It's going to screw up your stomach. And I think it's possible that we believe a theory of why I had this weird stomach thing, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the anxiety in the stomach, is possibly from sucking air. I think it's also possible that I ate a bunch of spaghetti and went and worked out junior year with Jova at Powerhouse Gym, and then the next day I never stopped doing this burp thing. So, yeah, Jay Martin, won the Bad Beat jackpot. That was cool, this and that, but he got his real estate license. He was killing it. On his A game, he ended up meeting the love of his life, Amy, and they had a kid on the way. And he was driving, in an area, and I guess someone said that this area where he got in the accident, it was a bad setup. It was a bad setup. It was a construction, and it was around this curve, and it was basically someone said they drove, and it was a bad setup, man, and he lost his life. At the age of, I think, 26, almost 27, and that was a tough one, I remember, we all remember when we found out, the passing of someone we cared about. Just a real good-hearted person, and I remember that's when I worked at Renaissance Auto Wash with Matt Monroe. He's my manager, and I wake up to a text from Matt Monroe. I'm thinking he's asking about, when you coming in today or something like that, or this, yada, yada. And I see what happened to Jamie Martin. That's the text I got. What happened to Jamie Martin? First thing I'm thinking is, I hope he's not dead. Let's go on Facebook. Go on Facebook. I think it might have been Megan Atherton. It might have been her post. And it said, R.I.P. Jamie. We forget sometimes. We forget. Sometimes I forget, when Robbie died, for days on end, for every day, for a year, I still have a bracelet. Now this bracelet has his mom on it. Mrs. A. And she died of cancer 2 years ago. Mr. A. and Megan, they lost a brother and a son at the age of 22. And then just the most caring, amazing woman, person with cancer. I think she was 60. She was 60. Life happens fast, folks. But yeah, what it's related to is that Jamie was such a good friend to Megan after Robbie passed. And that's why I saw him more. He was always at the RAF, the Robbie Atherton Foundation events. That's me and him. We had roller hockey in common still. We played together at Joe Dumars. And then we had the RAF connection, plus just our old memories together. But that's where I'd still see him. And then, then he was gone. So we're going to wrap this up here. Let me gather myself, to those who are gone, some sort of a regret that I have is that even my grandparents gone except Bobsy. Something that I want to do before Bobsy, she's 92 years old and she's doing amazing. But before she's gone, I want her to see me being successful. My other grandparents, they knew that I was smart. They knew that I'd eventually find my way. And my grandpa said, a quote that my Uncle Dave would say, drop the pearl. He'd say, determination, persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. And what that means is that if you got persistence and determination, you're bound to get somewhere. That's what my Uncle Dave said. He says, he invested in me in the Camera Comrade. He's one of the investors. And it means a lot. It means a lot. I was trying not to cry here. And I got this Canadian accent I picked. Actually, I'm French-Canadian, but I have this accent I picked up from listening to the podcast a couple days ago. He was Canadian. Jordan Peterson, check him out. And check out the Tom Bilyeu interview of Jordan Peterson. So anyhow, it's time to get this thing going. So we're going to wrap it up on that note, folks. I don't even know if anyone's even here anymore, which is okay. 11 viewers. What's up, 11? Oh, I'll do the trio. If you guys chant it, I'll do it. I'll do the trio. If you guys are listening, give me a few trios here. Let's see five people say trio. Nick A, you already said it. You're good. I'm here. Ryan Weisbicki. If you're here, say something. Either say trio or just say what up, and I'll do the damn thing. I'll do it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Who else we got? Okay, Vince is going to the flip side. Vince doesn't. He says, "I'm out, man. I'm out." You know you're staying, Vincent. Okay. You know what? Just chant in spirit. Trio, we're chanting right now. Here we go. I'll start chanting it too. So the trio, well, I don't need to explain it. We'll explain that in episode number 2. Watch this. That's that burp thing. That's whatever that is. Okay. Here we go. I just did this last week, so I've been practicing. You always start off the chant slow. I always say, slow it down. Start it off slow. You start by chanting. You got to stand up for the full experience. Okay, well, we'll adjust the cam. Good idea, Nicholas. We'll adjust the cam. Move it back a little bit. We're looking. Let me pop it up. Let me pop it up a smidge. Let me pop it up a smidge. A smidge. One of these guys. There we go. Wouldn't mind a little nose blow real quick. Plug your ears unless you want to hear a nose blow. The old classic sound of nose blow, but it's got to happen. There you go, guys. That's nice and crisp for you. Shoot the J! Shoot it! Ooh, deep, deep. Wasn't going to be short. They don't go in if they're short. It's like putts. They don't go in if they're short. Wait 1 sec. Not ready for trio. Okay. Drink some water. We got a delay, a requested delay. 1 sec. Not ready for trio. Let me know when you're ready, Ryan. Okay, go ahead. Oh, well, great. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. All right. Stand up. Make sure I'm on. Okay, start chanting, guys. Oh, you should make a chant trio clip so you can just play it and then you do it. Vince, that's a great idea. Great idea. Okay. Trio. 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 This is where I get the energy. Just keep chanting. Trio. Trio. Feels good. It speeds up a little bit. Speed up a little bit, guys. Trio. I see Nick. Trio. 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 Ah, it feels so good. Faster now. Trio, trio, trio. At this point, I always do a little jig. It's a little one of these, a little one of those, a little one of that guy's over there. And then trio, trio, trio. Go down. Got demon, rattlesnake, ghoul, that order. Trio, trio, trio. Trio 2022. Shout out. Wow. Breathe. Whew. I actually went to the doctor's once for that. I was having brain pain, and my mom's like, well, tell him about the trio. He does this thing, Doc. It's called the trio. He's like, yeah, probably don't do that for a little while, and, see how it goes. Well, there it is. You're a little rusty, but it'll work. I like the idea of, the chants, a little chant audio. I'd like to get people to be able to allow people to, to have a platform where people can make sound on. So this was the first run. LMIO got saved on the snap. Beautiful. Nice work, Randall. Nice work, Randall. Thank you, Dan Nutt. You are welcome, Nicholas Assad. Well, that was fun. This was great. I had an awesome time. Shout out to my friends. Joey was here. I don't know if she's still in here, but I had an amazing time at Maple Grove Rehab. I have some feedback from Maple Grove. They, I don't have the best thing to say about some of the current rules there, and actually got kicked out of rehab because, I got the whole story. I actually was falsely accused of something, and there's video evidence that I didn't do it. They said I went in the women's lounge. I didn't go in there, and because of their protocol, they never checked the video, whatever. I got kicked out of rehab for something I didn't do. But they made up a narrative that I was there chasing women. I happened to meet some pretty amazing women, but they had policies where the boys could only talk to the boys and the girls could only talk to the girls. And what did we want to do? We wanted to interact as coke people. So I wasn't having it. I didn't abide. Something I'll never do is just go along for the sake of going along. Just accept that some mediocre rule is how it's supposed to be. No, I thought it was a dumb rule. There was nowhere for us. There used to be a lounge where guys and girls can hang out in, but because some people had sex in it a couple months ago, now they just cut it off for everyone. Well, I didn't accept that. So if you don't believe something is right, then don't just be quiet. Do something about it. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for what you believe in. Mark, not Wahlberg videos. I'm so glad I joined when I did. I haven't seen that since back in the day. Who is Mark not? Who are you, Mark not Wahlberg? It's hard to see your face. Is that Mark Muscat? Who? Mark Wahlberg, please. Declare yourself. Declare yourself, sir. Mark Arabo. Wow. Wow, yeah, that has been a long time, man. Well, there you have it. It was like a time capsule. A little trip down memory lane. I wonder how I did. I want to carry. I mean, I gave it. I didn't leave any on the field, so I haven't seen it in a while either. I typically don't get to see it. You were the life of the party. Thanks, Nick. Nice job, Dan. Save the rehab content for next week. Perfect. Look at that. We got a little mastermind group here, dude. Next week, some rehab content. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, fraternizing. Yeah, LOL. That's what I got. I got kicked out of rehab for fraternizing. for talking to the girls. I met some pretty amazing girls and amazing guys, and I wasn't just talking to the guys. I literally just interacted with people. And a couple of the high-ups were just, they were not having it. They didn't, it's whatever. We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about, what did I say? Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Oh, no. Just keeps talking. Classic. Anchorman, classic. Now go make those pancakes. Shout out to Nick Assad. He actually made me tilapia, or the best tilapia. It was in Michigan State. He came there. Actually kind of cock-blocked me a little bit with this chick, Elle, who was awesome. And I actually had a chance to do some things with her on my birthday. And I didn't because I wanted to hang out, but she basically told me that we were going to do stuff if everyone left the room, that she was ready to rock and roll. And I didn't follow up. I don't know what happened to her, but she was awesome. And but Nick redeemed himself. I was like in the closet with her kissing, and he made me tilapia. So he totally redeemed himself. Mary Dead Vukai, what's up, Mary? That's a Shelby Wildcat there. That's more than just that. We had a little group of friends like her, Kim Donnelly, Andrea Pearden, Stacy Baker. Like 2 or 3 other, Megan Sifka, even Hurst maybe, a few others, whatever. It's an awesome group of these girls, Robin Douglas. But yeah, just amazing memories from junior high, but then even further past that. And I actually saw her, unfortunately, at Leah Stepanchenko's funeral, which one of my good friends, Kurt Stepanchenko, his sister. There's more people dying, like the OD stopped. The OD thing, people putting fentanyl in it, and that's just bullshit. And all the things that we're doing, people dying from drugs, let's stop the dying from drugs thing. It's terrible. So anywho, actually, she was getting married. She's married now. She has a new, Robin Douglas, a new last name. And she was considering having Camera Comrade out to her wedding, but I never got situated. But I thought it was so awesome, Mary, that you were willing to have me and use Camera Comrade, had it gotten going, to come and shoot your wedding, the video at your wedding. I just, that really meant a lot, and something I was trying to, I gotta get this going, because I want to do this at Mary's wedding. She said that she'd have me and have us, and I was just never able to get it situated. But I haven't given up on it. I just had to step back, and we'll get it up and running. But thank you for that, and I'm so glad to see that you're doing well with your husband and your kids, maybe even 2 now, at least 1. But yeah, you got some awesome vibes, and I enjoy our memories growing up. And let's make some more. Time to wrap it up. Yep. People are just coming in. Oh, Nick said I actually knew the girl because I went on spring break with her, Leah. Yeah, Leah was awesome. That's one of my best friend, Brent Hunsinger's. So Brent Hunsinger's dad passed away last year of cancer, stupid cancer. And something I actually wrote in my notes is to mention this, so it is important I mention it, is his mom, Sweet Renee, and Brent had me come and film his celebration of life at his up north place, because when he was on his deathbed, he told him that he didn't want a funeral. He wanted a party. He goes, I think he said, I want you to party your fucking asses off. And I remember there at the end of the night, it was me, Jordan, JP, and Hunsinger, and we were up still partying at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I looked over at Brent. I believe this is either on tape or on audio. And I said, Brent, I think we did Bill right, man. I would say that we partied our fucking asses off for him. So, but one thing that I haven't done yet is I haven't made a video for him. I haven't made a slideshow. He literally texted me a week ago, and he just says, it was just very nice. He said, all I want for Christmas is, let me read it. Let's just get real here for a second, because it's super real. This is super, super real. Here we go. Brent Tholomew, right about there. Wednesday, November 23rd. Hello, Daniel. I hope all is well. I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. All I want for Christmas This is what, like, when people at funerals do speeches, I tell them, just don't think about the words. Otherwise, you start crying. So just don't think about the words. He says, all I want for Christmas is my dad's video. In some way, shape, or form, I would like it. Finished or unfinished. Please. Thanks, bud. And I responded, and he said, love you. Thank you. Miss your face. I told him, I got you. This is personal. And our faces will meet again. So, by this Christmas, which is in 3 weeks, I'm going to have some sort of something, finished or unfinished, video of the celebration of life for an incredible, incredible person, Mr. William Hunsanger. So, on this podcast this week, next week, or whatever, and even prior, I'm going to put some work in between. I've started a little bit of it. I'm going to get it going, and I'm going to really reach out to the world here and saying, hey, anyone out there with some editing skills, let's put this thing together. If I need to raise donations, honestly, I want to make some money or whatever, but I'd honestly use this platform to raise donations to make this video happen. That's what I would do next week. It's a great idea. Raise donations to get Mr. Hunsanger's video done for Brent and family for Christmas. That's some real. That's some real. All right, what do we got over here? Well done, long live. I blow my nose. Long live the trio. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Okay. Shoot the J. Shoot it. Ooh, short. I don't ever go in there for short. All right. Okay. Where's my mouse? Where have my mouse? Bop, 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 bop. All right. Yep. Okay. There was no new comments, so thanks for listening to that. It's some real shit though. So, I'm gonna talk with like Filippo, Vince. We're gonna do. Anyone else who wants to get involved? I might do a little Discord. We're gonna bring it to the Discord, and a big part of this. This is a great. Why am I doing this podcast? Because I want things to happen, to get built and created, such as number one. The number one thing we're doing together, folks, here's what we're going to do. What this podcast is going to be about is making things happen. I have a list. I literally could create 1,000 jobs. I literally have a list of so many important things that need to get done, and we're going to go step-by-step process. And then we're going to start with getting Mr. Hunsanger's video done. Celebration of life. I have the most amazing footage, pictures, video, audio of such a special experience that is well-deserved. It's been a year and a half to have a video for his son and his mother and their family and friends by Christmas. That's our goal, folks. That just became our goal. You're being real with everyone, right? Did Brent compensate? Yes. So Brent's mom gave me $400, right? And I told her that I was going to find somebody to edit the video. Well, I had the money for a long time. Eventually 100, I put it back, this and that, and it's all gone. Now I have probably $100 in my name right now. Probably $100. Am I willing to, part of this too is I will work for people. I think it'd be great to just invite me over and have me I have a lot of skills. I'll do that, whatever. Right now though, I really think that maybe we can reach a larger audience here. If we can raise, $500 between 50 people, is that $10 a person to literally put it directly to, and I owe somehow this $400, whatever, is basically $100 was me shooting it, and then maybe another $100 just putting this organized together. So basically $200 I sort of owe back to the universe. And then how about when I make that money, I will put it towards our next cause. Perfect. Great idea. Because right now I can't make $500 in the next 2 weeks. I can't do it. I could make some. I'm interested, but I want to make this happen. I'm going to make that happen. Carl Baker. Holy smokes, man. Carl with a C. Carl with a K. Wow. It's fantastic. Carl, just now joined the chat. What is going on here? Give me the scoop. It's hard to leave this thing, man. This is awesome. The only thing that would make it any better is if I was able to pop people in a little bit on the audio and just have them jump on, and this kind of, but the chat's cool. A friend just sent me your link. Small world. Which friend, Carl? Which friend, buddy? Who else is here? I just met Carl. So I had like an awesome day. Thanksgiving, one of the best days of my life, really. I've had some great days. So that was just top notch. I got invited. Dane Dope Rock. A dope ass name. It's a dope ass name. Dane Dope Rock. Dane. Dude, I posted a video to my IG. Damn, what's up? Well, that's incredible, really. I mean, that's awesome. I wonder if I know. I don't see you did the trio and you blew up. So we talk about if Snapchat and Instagram and Facebooks and YouTubes and whatever was around during high school in our days. I mean, the trio. I mean, that would have been, everyone would have been, I'm lucky that I had a video camera and some people took some pictures, but if it was, whatever, it's not, but I would have been famous, but I could have been like like a child star, and then, I got the fame, but then, I ended up becoming an alcoholic, or just like my life's out of control, whatever. It ended up just being like on a show about, a child. Hope those people are all right, but some of those stories are sad. But yeah, so I love that, Mark, by the way. That's great. And great idea to everyone who chanted that and participated. Maybe we'll do that every week or once a month or whatever. If we get the chance, I tell anyone, if we get the chance, people chant, we'll do it. But Carl, I had my own show in high school. I couldn't have him on because my teacher hated him and me. Oh my God. Vince and I have so many stories. The teacher he had a student news show. It's called Diesel's Corner, and we're actually we're gonna start Diesel's Corner up again. We actually talked about that now that we're doing this, so we can have so Vince said, like, there's subs on a channel, deeznuttz Productions, and I can have like the Danyul Nutt podcast show. I can have like a Danyul Nutt different type show, not just this. This would be like the weekly type thing, but then we can put people on like Diesel's Corner and other shows. We can do that. So he had an awesome show, and Mike Seigan was an incredible filmer and editor, and shout out to him. I actually met him in 8th grade and played Counter-Strike together. And that was our first connection. I remember in science class, Mr. Jacobs' class, that was our first connection. CS, shout out to the Poop Clan. Hot Dog was Poop Chunky. Gerby, Poop Pellet Streaker. Scom, Poop Sloppy. Steve Fletcher, Poop Lunchbox. Poop Hong Kong was Flora, and then a few others. I remember Counter-Strike and then SOCOM. So anyhow, so Mike Seigan, he was the editor for the student news, and he's actually, I think he put together, Mike Seigan, Wheel of Fortune guy, I should know his name, Zajac? What's the Wheel of Fortune guy's name that passed away? Something Bill's, or not Bill Zajac. If anyone knows it, put it on here. But he put together and edited the commemoration video for him. That's pretty serious stuff. So congratulations, Mike Seigan, for doing so well. I love hearing when friends are doing awesome. Like Danny Crank. Shout out to Danny Crank. Danny Crank is one of the biggest supporters of his friends. Anyone out there, support your friends. Be happy for their success. Don't be envious or jealous of anybody, especially your friends. So Vince's student news, this is I can't say her name because it's not slander if it's true. Yeah, she wasn't a bad person. She just didn't know me. That's all. Her name was Mrs. DeWolf. You know, she was a great teacher. She had some skills or whatever, but she just didn't know me. I was just trio guy. I was just wild, crazy trio boy. Trio boy. Shout out to Jeff Florkey. It's a legend of Eisenhower. The champion. The champ. They actually made a commemoration video. He's still alive, but like of him and his legendariness. They call me Trio Boy. And he was the legend prior to me getting there. So I was like, he's into wrestling, and I was his kind of an arch nemesis to Jeff Florkey. God, I love Filippo. Thank you, Phil. Consistency and persistence to get a following. Recording regularly 2 times per week, even if you don't have a lot to talk about. So, God, I love my friends. Alex Trebek was Jeopardy. All right, I know that. It's not what I asked, Mark. But thanks, though. I still get 0 points for it. But I acknowledge you. Shout out to Mark for, you know, Alex Trebek. He's getting it going. You know, he's saying, hey, I don't know. But, Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. So, anyhow, Jeff Florkey is a legend of Eisenhower. And I was all of a sudden trio boy, and I was sort of a threat to him. And he knew that there could only be one champ. And he had the champ, he had the belt, you know, he's in the wrestling, and he beat me. I think it was either an arm wrestling match or on the last night, the senior all-night party. And it was like the Gladiators game, and you had to, you know, bop each other or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he beat me in that or arm wrestling, and it's basically it was the title match. And he beat me, and he said, trio is over. Trio is over. He said, trio boy, trio's over. Trio's over. He basically wanted to end the trio because to him, you know, there can only be one true champion at the school. And I'm actually would like to say what up to you, man. What up to Jeff Florkey, man? Hit up Jeff Florkey. Hit up Jeff Florkey. He died? Wait a minute. Who? Wait a minute. Okay. I think he's talking about Wheel of Fortune guy. Hope so, not Jeff Florkey. I would have heard that. All right. Yeah, Vince says, every time I pick the show to my teacher, she goes, you cannot have this guy on your show. I'm like, I have to. He got me on one. I did the platypus. Yeah, it was... how do you spell cornucopia in the library? Yeah, Alex Trebek died too. I saw him at the reunion football game. We talked for a few minutes. That's great. So Jeff Florkey is alive and well, and I'm going to hit him up. How often have you been told you look like Santa Claus back in '94? Once. And counting. Santa Claus back in '94. All right. I'm with it. So, Carl, perfect. Top notch. Thank you. The blazer. Okay, so Carl and I met because we each had blazers on in the D. It was on Thanksgiving, one of the best days of my life. He had this badass blazer. You know, put the photos up. We have the photos here. I can just cue them up once we get this thing technically sound. And I had a cool blazer, and we both just like, oh, wow, sweet blazer. Oh, sweet blazer. Just like, we had to meet. And we ended up just vibing super hard. I've actually told this story, Carl, probably pulled the photo of Tim Allen. I look like Tim Allen when he's holding the mugshot. It's a classic. I look like Tim Allen, period, sometimes. Santa Claus. Here we go. So I'm actually going to, Tim Allen's he's a Michigan feller himself, and I'm going to, maybe Tim Allen will hear about me. Maybe I don't even have to hit up Tim Allen. Maybe Tim Allen will hear about me. Carl had a buddy, Dane Doprock, sent him, and he probably had no idea that Carl and I knew each other. Carl and I literally just met last week on Thanksgiving because we had super sweet blazers on, and then we vibed super hard. And he, in the photography as well, he actually had a sweet-ass camera. It's like a $3,000 Sony they got for $1,600 because I was thinking, don't ever buy anything new. When you buy something new, it immediately loses value. You buy it used, like new, very good. then holds its value. It's actually an investment instead of a depreciated asset. So he takes he takes a video, asks me what I'm grateful for. He's a creator. He's making a video, asking people that, and I went on. We talked about it in the middle of the street, Woodworks. It was closed off for the parade. It's probably a dope ass video. But the pictures we took, and later we took pictures of us both in this other street. We were walking back, so we ended up talking we met people together. We vibed super hard. We spread the best vibes to other people, and then we connected so hard. And actually ended up walking his bike to my whip, and then driving him. Drove him back to his place in the D. And then two cool things happened. One, we were just vibing super hard, talking about how important it is that he mentioned how when because he met me and our experience we had, that he's going to transcend that into his experience for the rest of the day. So now he's going into the rest of his day with his family and friends as a more happy person, had an awesome day, and is feeling great, not just about that day, but we had real conversations about hey, let's make something of this life. And now he's going to go into his other parties with that energy, and it's going to spread. And we have the ability to make an impact. We have the ability to change lives. So Carl and I, as we were talking about that, it's on video footage a little bit. Yeah, it's all on video. It's all on video. This is the first we've spoken since. Yeah. Why don't you? Hey, buddy. Hey, Carl. I've been checking to see if you've been following me back on Instagram. Are you trying to keep your followers low, man? I've been checking that. I wish that you didn't have to follow, or I wish that there was a way on Instagram to just connect with someone, but not change your follow ratio. Because I've been checking if you've been following me, because I want to send you the pictures. I actually sent the picture, Carl, of you and the picture of, I've been lost in the motion of the week. I just did. Perfect. But yeah, I've actually been checking, Carl, because I want to send you the picture of you and Stella, the dog. I have a badass picture of Carl on his porch with his dog. He's a beautiful pit bull. Dude, it's so sick. And a sick blazer. I sent it to my friend Joey, who was here earlier, who may still or not be here. She's awesome. And so, me and Joey are coming down to the D, Carl, on Thursday, 2 days from now, and I told her that I was going to hit you up, and we're going to come visit you. So we're going down to the D around 3 p.m., and we're going to be there, all day, evening, or whatever. And if you're down there, let's link up. And then the other thing I was going to say, in 2 or 3 weeks, Vince here and I were going down. It was his idea to spread some holiday cheer around Campus Martius or whatever. So we're going to be down in the D doing that. So that's a perfect opportunity for making something creative. Danceparty.com. Oh, yeah, danceparty.com. Oh, that's Chris. That's Chris. What's up, Chris? Thank you. Chris has a lot of experience doing live streams as well. So it's awesome to see that you're here, man, because we had an awesome conversation, and I just kind of was unable to. It took me a while to get to this point here. A lot of learning experience, habits. Just I had to really dig deep and kind of get my ducks in a row. But I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. Don't even get me started with Instagram on Facebook. There's no customer service. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, don't even bother trying to get help. Dan, please tell the people that you got to come join us to spread holiday cheer 2 weeks from now or something. We're hitting the streets and passing out candy canes. So that's what I was just mentioning. That, how about them going to Art Basel on Friday? Thursday in the future in general looks great. Okay, Thursday looks great. And I don't know what's Art Basel. Art Basel. If I search it. That's my buddy Chris. Yeah, that's what I said, Vince. No, that's my buddy. Yeah. No, I got you, Vince. No worries. Fire it up. So, in 2 weeks from now, Vince and I are going to go down to the D, Campus Martius, and spread holiday cheer and pass out candy canes. I want to get nice candy canes, so actually give some. Oh, wow, thank you. But more importantly, to spread the holiday cheer in the D. So, Carl, and anyone else, it's cooler when you do things with more than just a couple people. You're able to, it's kind of, sometimes when there's like, 3 or 4 people all together, like group, and like you're kind of like maybe wearing similar stuff, or just you tell that you're together, it's less awkward and weird for other people around. You're not just some weird dude like just passing out candy canes. Like, but if it's like a group of people with some energy, you can really, really pass out some serious candy canes. It's a Miami art show thing. I know exactly what he's talking about. I'll tell you something about my buddy Vincent Assad, is that he always knows where the place to be is. For the longest time, I wouldn't even, I used to go out and stuff, and I still go out once in a while. I wouldn't even bother trying to figure out what I was going to do that weekend. Wouldn't even bother. Because I knew that Vince would have it. He'd always have it. It's kind of a trade-off I had for, being his designated driver quite often. I was just not whether drinking or not. He's logged more time in my passenger seat, perhaps, than probably all my other best friends or friends in general. He may or may not. Maybe 5 years ago for a while. It's been a little less since, but I love that man. Okay, yep. Ooh, look at that. Look at this. Okay. Oh, he's the one you're talking about that you met. Yes, Carl. See, I've been telling your story, Carl, and I haven't even gotten to the bidet yet. Actually, I told that story at Thanksgiving. Oh, it was classic. It was classic. I used my first bidet on Thanksgiving. First, I've heard about them. My Uncle Dave used them in Korea. He tells me they're amazing. I've always heard about them, and I've always been curious, and I had no idea that on Thanksgiving 2022 that I would no longer be able to say I never, ever have used a bidet. Because once Carl and I got a little more close and we're in my Dodge Journey driving him back with his bike, I told him that I hadn't had my poop for the day. Because it was a morning. I had an awesome friend, Debbie. She invited me down to the D to hang out with her and her family to do the parade thing. My first parade besides when I was a child, I don't remember. Amazing time. Her family is just super awesome. I just had the best time ever. It was just spectacular. And Debbie's a tremendous person. I met her. She calls me Carl. So when Carl and I met, I was like, dude, I've been telling people all day that my name's Carl. He's Carl. So that is a universal sign, Carl. I was like that there's something here, and we vibed so hard. So we vibed so hard that before Carl and I parted our ways for the day, I told him that I'd been holding in a poop. You don't just tell people off the. I didn't tell anyone else that day that I was holding in a poop. It's a solid poop. You can hold those in. You can't hold in the. You can hold in solid poop. It's the regular. Everyone does it. And when I was in rehab, they asked you how's your bowel movements, and I was like, told my boy Ron, I was like, a couple hours ago, and I was like, I could draw a sketch if you want. He's like, I just need to know the eagle has landed. That became a little joke. Me and Ron, the eagle has landed. So anyhow, the eagle hadn't landed yet, and I confided in my new friend here, Carl, and when we got to his place, he said, we're saying our goodbyes, and it's something I try to maximize time with somebody. So he gets out of the car, and I'm like, I'm not done with you yet, Carl. I'm not done hanging out with you yet, Carl. So my plan was to just kind of walk him to his door or whatever, and just say peace. But you want to meet my dog, Stella. Of course, I want to meet your dog. So we go in. I meet his dog. I met his cat, and he has a snake too. And while we're in there, you get a cool apartment. It's him and his girlfriend's apartment, and he says, do you want to tear up my bathroom? That is such a friendly, dude, that is what this world is missing. I literally just met this man an hour and a half prior. We became great friends, such quality. And within an hour and a half of meeting this gentleman, this lad, he literally offered up me to tear up his bathroom. I said, hey man, I could probably just get away with a pee. And he says, I got a bidet. And he had me at bidet. I said, Carl, I've never used a bidet before, and I've always wanted to. Today is bidet. Today is bidet. And I went in there. He gave me a little, turn it this way, that way. He showed me how it works. And he went out, walked. He said, walk Stella around the lap. And I swear to God, it is life-changing. It's so life-changing that I actually ordered a bidet on Black Friday. And it's coming here on Monday. Carl, I have a bidet arriving here on Monday. You changed my life, brother. The reason why I got a bidet, one thing to get it clean, but just the time. Just speeds things up. The time. Time is the most valuable resource we have. So yeah, at Christmas, or at Thanksgiving after, it was just really funny how I told my family that I used the bidet for the first time today from my buddy Carl, who I just met that day. What is a tush? Oh, okay, was it a tushy? It was Mary, she's awesome. Was it a tushy? It was like something with a P. It was a Black Friday deal. It was normally $50, selling for $30, and they had like 4.5-star reviews. Cold water only. It could have been just rear only. That's all I need. That's all I need. I don't really have female guests over right now currently, so I saved the money there. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Vinny, tell Gina I said what up. Must be Gina Gazzardo / Assad. Wow, there's Aaron Berger. I mentioned him earlier. What's up, Aaron? Finish my bathroom like Jarrell Worthy. That sounds like a rap lyric. Bars. Midwestern hospitality. Back to that. Yeah, that's what's missing in this world, is that experience right there. It's perfect. Like, rarely would that ever happen. Would you have just met someone an hour and a half later, and now you're telling them to go tear up your bathroom with their bidet? Midwestern hospitality. Okay, what is sponsorships? What do we got here? That's so up your alley, the Art Basel. Friday, I'm going hard. I have a hard time putting back-to-back days. Thursday, I'm going hard. Friday, I might pass. Maybe I'll go, but maybe. Oh, Mike Nikolsky, can I sponsor your page? Just randomly shout out dumpster delivery and I will pay you. Vincent told me. He mentioned, I knew it too. Mike, yes. Absolutely. So Mike, I shot him and Kimmy, they got married, and I shot their proposal actually. So it was prior to them getting married. It was badass. They had his buddy has a helicopter, and tell someone you're doing a proposal. So it was cool. They went on the helicopter, drove around. I saw some of the video footage. It's awesome. From actually, I think Kimmy was shooting out of it, but I caught video footage of it. But I was able to capture their proposal for them. I sort of missed it a little bit. I actually went home and cried that night, I think. Actually, I was sad about it. Yeah, actually, because I technically missed it in a sense. I mean, I made up for it, and there's some awesome stuff I shot or whatever, but it was I wanted to get that shot. So it was it's a growing experience for me. It was special. We made the most out of it. It didn't take away from the experience what it was, but his family's awesome, and I had a great day that day, and I'm glad that I caught some action for you. And absolutely, Mike. Yeah, remember Kimmy was selling the pumpkins this year. Your wife's awesome. So I'd like to do that and / communicate more often. That's one reason why I'm on here, is because to rekindle some friendships, to be more reachable, more accessible, to bring people together. Like Javo calling, that was just absolutely amazing. He wants to invite me and Skomsky and whoever else over for his B-Day party. Spectacular. Look at that. You're the best. You did good that day. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. That, you know, right there. Sincerely, thank you. Vinny Assad, so you're going to make me your agent, right? Yes. Yeah, Vince called me a few months ago, and he's like, I figured it out. He's like, I'm going to be your agent. He's like, I'll book the, you're the talent, and I'll book, you're going to make some, essentially, I have to make money. I believe I bring value to people. I believe that my presence, my ability to be is valuable. I mean, there's people still here where I'm interesting. And what did Debbie told me? She says, your talent is you. You are your gift. Literally went to rehab, and like as Joey said, like I was her favorite person in rehab. I went hard. I go hard for my squat. Like I kicked out of Dairy Queen for going. I got kicked out of DQ in seventh grade maybe for going up as a homeless man. I might have been wearing this jacket actually. I might have been wearing this jacket. That's wild. And I had a little bag with cans in it. It was 7th grade. And I went up and I had a bag of cans. And I was acting like I was like drunk and like I was 7th grade. But I acted like I was basically drunk and went out and just passed out in front of DQ. This is like the middle of the day. There's people going in and out. And there I am, this dude just with a bag of cans next to me, a brown bag, just laying there, passed out like this. And then I had my buddies, Scam, Vince, a couple others, probably Javel, maybe Gerby, come by, and Jules maybe, on their scooter, on the Razor scooters. And they come by and they like kick me. And AIDS isn't funny, AIDS is serious, but we were kids then, so they were calling me AIDS boy. AIDS boy, AIDS boy. And this woman came to my defense. She goes, you're being mean to him. She goes, stop. You're hurting his feelings. It's not nice. And I was just like, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, And I don't think I ever gave up character either. I don't think I gave up character. I was like, oh, thank you. But anyhow, after that, they were like, yeah, you can't come back here. And then years later, though, I talked to them, and they love me there. I got to go back and see my DQ squad. R.I.P. to Vince, the wrestler. Edge, Scott Hall. Scott Hall. His family owns the Dairy Queen. There's a connection there to Scott Hall and Razor Ramon. And I watched his commemoration video a few months ago when he passed. It's sad, man. He was like 50 or 60 years old. Legend. Gone. So RIP to him. And, that's some real talk. You are the talent. You are the talent. And as Phil said, BD unit. That's deep. Hell yeah, Vinny. Multiple people messaged you about me in my video. Multiple people messaged you about me. Carl, I need that. Multiple people messaged me about you. Carl, I still need it in English. I love the ad. I still don't know what you're saying. We're going to make you some money. Let's go, Burger. Let's go, dog. Contact me for Dan's bookings. Okay, Agent Vince. Contact him for my bookings. Oh, man. This is priceless. I love you guys, man. Great. Let's make a deal, dude. Let's get it. You're the best. You did good that day. So you're going to make an agent. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is not blah, blah. This is stuff I've already read. Let's see anything I missed. Absolutely. We'll come make a commercial for you. Remember the episode Entourage when Johnny Drama had to give a shout out for the TV company? Page sponsor. Of course it is. What up, bro? Burger. This is awesome, dudes and ladies. I love that. Was it a tushy? Okay, I'm not going to tell the story, but I'll just read Vince's comment. That's awesome. Tell them the story about the girl that kicked you out of the party because you took a poop at her party, called you out on it. Okay, so I was at Michigan State. There's an apartment party. I think it was after we graduated. Vince knew someone was there. We went there, and it was a full party, and I had to go poop. So I went and pooped. And immediately after, when I exited the bathroom, the owner of the house, she says, you have to leave. She singled me out. I took a poop at the party, and I don't know if it was coincident or not, but immediately, within a minute, it was obvious that I was the guy who exited the bathroom and took a poop. And she comes up to me and she says, you gotta leave. You have to leave. So, I don't know. There was a lot of people at the party. I'm the only one who pooped. I got the boot. Was it worth it? Yeah. Don't ever hold up. Don't hold that shit in. Don't hold that shit in. But get a bidet though. Get a bidet. Scott Hall, the bad guy. Yep. The heel. What's the bad guy mean? Does that mean the heel? Or is that like was he Razor Ramon and who else was he? He had a couple names. Went to WWE. Late Night with deeznuttz. That's what's up. Late night. Yeah, I need to change the podcast now to Late Night with deeznuttz. Please tell everyone to watch the live-in video on your channel. So there is a clip from La Jolla Cove, California. You know what we're gonna do? I'm not gonna stand here in that stink. I actually have to pee, so I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit here and hold and pee any longer. I clearly just not holding it far. I just talk about whatever. I'm gonna go pee over there. I'll be back. So yeah, Late Night with deeznuttz is marketing gold. So you guys can talk if you want, or go take a pee as well, or do whatever. Eat a snack. I'll BRB. Mic drop. All right. We're going to wrap this up, though, in 12 minutes. 3 hours is my cutoff, fam. So we're going to try to end it. I'm going to end it exactly at 3. So that's what we got to do. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Living is a classic video. Yeah, I was down there with Mike Knapp's. He had me over when I was going across the country, getting Hope the Mission, the journey, Daniel's quest. As part of it, my buddy Royce, he asked me if I wanted to go across with him and essentially be his cameraman and co-captain, called Getting Hope. and it's in 2013, and we circled the country on feet with no formal means of transportation. And they called it Getting Hope because the goal was to have people experience that feeling of when you help a stranger out, when you trust a stranger and it works out. So we had to ask people for rides, right? Hitchhike. So essentially that person giving us a ride is taking a chance. And we're also taking a chance that nothing's going to happen, and experience that feeling of when you took a chance on a stranger and then it all worked out. And one of the goals too, so another goal of this podcast is to get the Getting Hope documentary done. And it can be, any which way we do it. It can be it's like a series. It can be not just some long documentary, but Getting Hope, however we do it. We'll get that situated. So anyhow, I was staying with Mike Knapp, and we went to La Jolla Cove, and I was asking his Mike Knapp would ask, "Are you living? Are you living? You living, bro? Are you living?" And I was asking, it's always on camera. You can go check it out. It's called Living. It's somewhere in here. Actually, if you could just post, hey Vince, why don't you go ahead and copy the link into here? I guess you don't have to do that, but you could. Can't we just put it on for everyone? Should we watch that together? Oh my God, we could do that. I have the perfect set for your next episode. Set up just like a late night show. Yeah, so here, let me show you. Let me show you this. I'm gonna get a wireless mic somehow. So here. Oh no! Oh, we're good. Always save. Sorry again. Whoops. So here, that's what I'm working with right now. Here's to the right area. We're spinning around back. Here's where I am right here. A little setup right there. And I was a little closer earlier. And then to the left here, so I was going to show you, is, couch area. Which, so I want to have, that's how I envisioned it. Kind of like the late night show, guest, kind of like me there. And then, guest or 2 or 3 right here. And here's the whole area. I'll show you my setup. A lot of it comes down to lighting. Here's the work I put in. People wonder why I wasn't on it. Whatever time. It's doing a lot of lighting setting up. Let me show you. Lighting is so key. So there's lighting. There's lights up top too. Very important. And that is the space. But yeah, we can improve the production quality tremendously. This is what I was able to get started up with what I had, and do this damn thing. And there it is. You got like that. You can probably pop it down a little bit. And shit, that'll look. Oh. I think I'm still on. A lot of room for potential, absolutely, Carl. It's 20 feet by 20 feet with 10.5-foot ceilings. Carl Baker, thanks for your subscription, brother. I think I'm almost to 50. Not going till 7 a.m., Randall says. Oh, we're back. I'm back. I accidentally popped off the computer for a second. Am I lagging? I like the idea of me lagging. I mentioned I said what Carl Baker, a lot of room for potential, 20 feet by 20 feet, 10 and a half feet. And then I also have a garage area there, which is kind of like the office. I don't feel like showing that right now. And then I have the upstairs area. But yeah, a lot of room for, and I like the traveling show. I'll get you to 69. Whoa. What's going on here? Carl traveling show.